Jonathan, hello. Draculum. Alexandra's here. Your live stream was brutal. I saw some. I think I saw all the English conversations there, Alexandra. Some of the people were insane. Yeah. Hey Pia, nice to see you. A lot of cool people here. Moonrise Studios, Draculum. Can you guys hear me? Okay. What if he convinces everyone to go vegan this stream? I doubt it. I doubt it. Let's not put the expectations so high. Huh? Let's not do that. Let's just see where it gets us. Let's just make sure that everybody who comes by us will be properly informed. Jonathan. It's an interesting name. I'm not sure if that's your name or that's just something you came up with. Jonathan. Pia. You want to try a social experiment? It's my name. Oh, interesting. That's a good name then. Jonathan. Easy to remember, huh? You just have to remember the Jonas and then. I was gonna say then you go backwards, but that would be Jonathan. You want to try a social experiment? Just ask you some questions. That's it. You okay being live for my YouTube channel? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel? Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Pravita.
Pravita. Can you come a bit closer, Pravita, in the view? Nice. Love it. Okay. Where are you from, Pravita?
I'm from India.
India. Love it. I'm Chip, by the way. I'm from
Nice to
Romania,
meet you.
but I live here.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Pravita, do you think, well, I'll just pull this up and I'll ask you, should the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
Of course not.
No.
No.
What if they benefit from it?
I mean, considering a humanity perspective, I would still say no.
Still say no. Okay,
Yeah.
it would still be wrong to do so.
Yes.
What if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed?
At least someone should.
At least
I mean,
someone
I
should,
believe that at least someone will, because if,
but if
y-
they
I'm-
don't, I'm sorry, if they don't, would oppressing them be okay?
still no.
Still no.
Still no.
Okay.
I mean, the powerful should come to the realization that it's not right. In case the others don't realize that. Plus, you've seen Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I love that you mentioned Spider-Man. Okay, then let me ask you Spider-Man. Okay. Let me ask you Superman, because Superman is such an easy one. Superman, you know who Superman is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's clearly an alien from another planet. He has power over everyone, and if he would like to oppress somebody, he could easily do it.
Yeah,
right?
he could easily do it.
Would it be fair for him to oppress somebody?
No.
No. Would it, even if he did it in a way that the other person doesn't really realize because he's so fast and stuff like that?
It's still not right.
Still not great.
No.
Okay. What if a Superman is part of a group that is part of their tradition to oppress people?
Then it would have been like it's been wrong for generations.
Yeah. So
If
it's
you-
still wrong, huh?
It's still wrong. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So culture, tradition, none of this doesn't really justify oppression, does it?
I mean, if you bring in, some other factors, I would still say it's not right. Because, again, see, just because they are powerless doesn't give you a right over them.
Yeah.
They are still people.
Yeah, and what if Superman? I mean, I know Superman is not known for that, but let's assume that if Superman, because he has superpowers, but what if he also had super intelligence? Then that way he was so much more intelligent than somebody. Thus, oppressing us would be okay, would be
He
easy.
should be. I would say that he should be using it to bring up other people, like
Yeah.
Convert the
help
powerless
them.
to powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
We
to
should-
oppress them,
Not
so
to
it'd
oppress
still
them.
be
No.
wrong.
Oppressing is wrong, in no matter which this one you consider.
And what if somebody pays Superman to oppress somebody else? Does that make who's
Still
who's
doesn't make
responsible
it
for
right.
it? Is
So-
the somebody who paid for it, or is it Superman?
It's
it?
Superman.
Superman
Because
is-
at the end of the day, it's his actions.
So the person who paid for it is not responsible at all.
I mean, I would say it's still evil, but again, Superman has power to choose his own, like how he wants to be to other people. So I would say it's still his mistake.
Okay. So Superman shouldn't be oppressing us, right? He has power over us and shouldn't be oppressing us. And let me switch it back around. Do you think that we should be oppressing animals?
No,
No.
definitely not. No.
No. But do you think that maybe there are certain industries that we participate in that oppress animals?
I mean, yes, of course there are, especially if you look at fashion industry,
Yeah.
You can see, like, a lot of animals are being tested. Not just fashion industry, any industry if you take, they're testing on animals. They're using fur or whatever to make clothes. It's not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. It isn't great. And would you say that using animals or exploiting animals for fashion is unethical?
Of course.
Of course. Okay. How about exploiting animals for food? Is that unethical?
Oh, that's a very complicated question because I'm a non-vegetarian.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's not right. It's definitely not right. No.
Especially given that we have alternatives, right?
Yes, we do have alternatives. So at the end of the day, it's your choice. So
But
you
should it
have
be
to
a
make-
choice? Should you have the choice to oppress animals because you perceive some benefit from it, like nutritionally,
No.
let's say, or
No.
taste-wise?
Because see, the main reason why you consume meat is, I would say, for your protein.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other sources that you can get protein from.
I
So,
love what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, what do you want to do about it?
I am trying to cut down on my meat
Yeah.
consumption. So let's see.
Do you want to continue being an oppressor? Are you gonna, after you leave this conversation, are you gonna continue being an oppressor, or are you gonna say no more?
I'm gonna say no more.
You're gonna
Don't
say
worry.
no more? Yeah. Have you ever thought about being vegan?
No, I've thought about being vegetarian, but not vegan.
Do you know why? Because vegetarians, vegetarian is a diet, right? Veganism is just like a moral principle of respecting animals. But do you know why vegans don't consume dairy products, for example?
I'm not sure about that.
I can give you a quick rundown. But like, do you know why cows produce milk?
Yeah,
Why?
for the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you think that cows get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers decide for them?
I think farmers do.
Yeah, so it's called artificial insemination, and it's literally forcefully inseminating a cow, right? Because cows never consented to a human being handling their genitalia so
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
can reproduce them. And yeah, when the babies are born, what do you think happens to them?
I think they're kept away from their parents so that they can the milk
From their
can be
mother,
used-
because
yeah.
the father
yeah,
is
the
probably
mother.
killed already.
So yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they are kept away, and again, something is being put inside them, so that they can be the next generation of food.
Yeah, so the first thing, you're right. The first thing that happens is they separate them from their mother so that they don't drink the milk.
Yeah.
Which is already messed up if you ask me, right?
Yeah.
Like if we were to separate a child from their mother just so that we can take the mother's milk, it would be pretty messed up to do that to a human being, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, if they're born female, well, actually, if they're born male, they get killed because
Yeah.
they don't produce milk. And if they're born female, every year forcefully inseminated, like their mothers, until they can no longer be inseminated because no body was made to be impregnated every year
Yeah,
repeatedly.
yeah, of course.
And their body gives out, of course. They call them then spent cows. That's the name which is kind of cruel to even call them that way.
Yeah.
And do you know at what age that happens?
No, I'm not sure. I think
So
3, 2, 3.
no, but like 6 to 7
6
years.
to 7.
Depending on how well they treat them, also, right? But 6 to 7, maybe 8 years, and afterwards, because they cannot impregnate them, they kill them.
Yeah.
And they can live 24, 25 years. So a third of their life, quarter, somewhere around that age. Do you want to be part of that?
No.
Do you want to pay for animals to go through that?
Of course, really not. I mean, after hearing this, no.
No. Yeah. So then, do you understand the importance of being vegan then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do going forward?
Let's see. I think I want to educate myself on, this topic more so that I can make an informed decision.
While you educate yourself, do you think that it's important then that you adopt a plant-based diet while you educate yourself until you get the right points, just so that no more other animals are exploited on your behalf?
I think I can at least start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate you doing that. Okay, let me give you a card before you go, and it can be the start of your education if you want.
Okay.
There's a thing, you can either watch Dominion or the most important speech you'll ever hear. Dominion will also show you footage from India.
Okay.
So if you want to tackle that, the most important speech you'll ever hear, it's like somebody talking about what animals go through, like we did now, without
Okay.
actually showing you. In Dominion,
Okay.
you also see it.
Okay.
If you scan that QR code, you have these two videos on top. And one thing you have there is called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist, send you recipes every day, and help you go vegan for free.
Okay. No problem. I will do that.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Pravita.
Pravita.
Yeah.
Pravita, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Be fair and compassionate, okay?
course.
I appreciate
Take care.
it. Have a good one. Have a good one. Hey, James. Nice to see you here, James. Vegan Dylan. Hi fam, what's up? VFF says Vegan Dylan. Hello. I'm gonna wait for the room to. It's so nice here. You know, I always like doing activism here because, well, I don't like the fact that most people have to go to museums. But hey, you guys want to try a social experiment?
What's the experiment?
I just ask you some questions. That's it.
Okay.
Get you to think. Are you keeping live for my YouTube channel?
Sure.
Do you want to come so that you're in view then?
It's YouTube. Okay. Where do we stand?
Just here.
Okay.
Because this is the camera right here. So, what are you guys' names?
I'm Adam.
Adam, nice to meet you. How about you?
I'm Olivia.
Olivia, where are you guys from? I'm Chip.
United States.
United States? Where in US?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I haven't
great.
been to Kentucky myself, but I heard good things. Okay, so if you're from the US, let me ask you this. Should the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
No,
No. What if the powerful get benefit from oppressing them?
no.
No. What if the powerful are extremely smart or extremely powerful and
There's the idea
It's
of
easy
the
for them.
Leviathan that has been around forever. It's the idea of divine right of kings. And modern conservatism is trying to bring that back. They're trying to use capital to bolster the powerful
Yeah.
instead of the divine mandate of
Yeah.
God. But it's all bad. It leads to the same road, which is oppression.
so oppression is bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. What if religiously, because you mentioned God, so I'm assuming that you guys believe in God. So
No.
what if
No.
No? No? I don't know. Like, okay, so what if
No, that they use the divine mandate. Of
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Religion is a pathway to power.
It's a tool. It can be
To
used
oppress.
for good.
Yeah, but also
It brings community to a lot of people, but it can also be used to oppress. You can have a group of traditional religious people that have a compound, say,
Yeah.
and you don't let people leave the compound. And this has happened.
I'm
with
already
certain
liking
religious
you guys
leaders.
more. I'm already
Yeah,
liking
they-
you guys more.
Oh God, what was his name? He was a Mormon. He
Oh,
had
Brigham Young?
sister wives.
No,
There
yes,
was Brigham
yes.
Young. He had Brigham Young and his 55 wives.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me go on with the experiment.
Okay.
Interesting. I appreciate that. Okay, so what if the powerful have been doing it for so long that it's part of their tradition? It's a cultural thing for them to continue oppressing. Does that make it okay?
fuck tradition. If it's bad,
Well, it's
know,
more
it's like-
nuanced than that. You can't just say fuck tradition. Tradition is, it's like
But if
religion.
it-
Tradition is a tool. That's how I see it. You can use tradition to uplift people and bring people together, but that same togetherness can be a net.
it can
that
also be like
chokes.
exclusive
It
and
can
not,
be.
you know.
It can be,
and
but there's
lead to,
always
like,
in-groups.
a culture of, yeah.
Ideally, we have an in-group of everybody,
Ideally, but
it's so
it's
hard
not
to get there.
human nature.
But people should always push for it. Just because it's difficult to do doesn't mean you shouldn't push for it.
I guess the question is, does culture justify oppression?
No,
No.
No.
nothing
No.
justifies oppression.
Nothing justifies
I mean,
oppression.
people will say that it justifies it, but to me, it does not.
Okay, what if the powerless don't realize that they're oppressed? Maybe they're intellectually challenged or something, and they can't. The powerful do it so well that they don't realize that they're oppressed, and they can never realize it. Would oppressing them still be okay?
No.
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 I mean, would you like abuse in an old folks' home?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
there
it's
you
people
like,
who are 80 years old?
Yeah, or like a 3-year-old child, right? They
Yeah.
don't really know that you would be
I
oppressing
mean,
them.
you've got to, if you have the ability to stand up for the less fortunate, you should. you
Okay.
know?
Okay, I appreciate that. And
Where's
Say-
this going?
Yeah, I don't know.
do you think? And
Okay.
I have 2 more questions, and we
Okay.
get there. Do you think we should be discriminating based on phenotypes, whether to
No.
oppress somebody or
Phenotypes
not?
are fucking. No.
No.
Phenotypes? No.
No, so not intelligence,
Absolutely not.
skin color, not
Okay.
the way they walk.
Listen,
nothing.
we are in the Netherlands. Everyone here is really fucking tall. I'm
Yeah.
not that tall. Okay. When I sit down to take a shit, my feet hang. Okay. They don't touch the ground because everyone's so tall. Okay. The phenotype of tall should not dictate whether someone has power over someone
Yeah.
else. Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
And it could be any other phenotype. I'm just saying tall right now.
Okay. So based on your logic, is it safe to assume that oppressing animals would also be wrong?
Yeah. I would say
It
so.
depends because this is based off of the idea that humans have a consciousness.
That is
Animals
true.
also have a consciousness.
It
yes.
depends on.
That you are just saying that. We didn't agree to that.
But do you know about the Cambridge Declaration? of,
You're just
consciousness?
saying things, and we did not agree to that. You're begging the question.
Well,
I
this
think.
is science. It's
You're
not.
saying
I'm not
you're
saying
begging
this.
science. What's the study?
Well, there's the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness that admits that animals are conscious, and there's also the New York Declaration of Consciousness.
So there's
So
a whole
there's two
like
declarations.
Are you
spectrum
PETA
of
or are you?
consciousness.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
you've got
PETA?
like the
Are you PETA?
oh,
Are you
Not
PETA?
PETA.
Okay, what are you? What are we going with?
yeah,
the
what is
animals?
happening?
Yeah.
So,
What do you-
do you think it's okay to oppress animals?
It depends. It depends on
you're
the
saying
spectrum of
oppress as in
Does
consciousness.
it
it's the
depend? It seems
same
that
as-
all the answers that you gave, you
just
shouldn't discriminate based on
comparing
phenotypes, and all of a sudden
people.
we should discriminate based on phenotypes.
You know what's different between humans and animals is genotype. That's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not just phenotype, that is genotype. I don't have the phenotype, or I don't have the genotype to have, like, what, walk around on 4 legs? Or have a neck that's 8 feet tall like a giraffe?
So if there was an animal that was more intelligent than humans, and more powerful than humans, would it be okay for them to oppress humans?
It would probably be their nature to do so.
Would it be
but
okay? Would it be
would
moral?
not be
Okay is a
but-
personal thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have
would
to
it be moral according to
decide.
your values?
I mean,
I mean, I wouldn't want to be oppressed,
yeah, but
Yeah.
which is what we said earlier.
it
Yeah.
does
So
kind
then-
of.
So what's your goal here?
So then when we come back to animals, doesn't that mean that we should also not be, according to your own logic, that we should not be oppressing animals just because we can? Right?
I don't know.
What group are you with again?
I'm with
You're
no
not
group. No.
Okay, interesting.
What's your
what's
problem
the
with
oppression
PETA,
of
though?
animals?
What's oppression of
Oppression
animals?
of animals?
I would
Yeah.
say forcefully inseminating an animal is oppressive. Wouldn't you say forcefully inseminating an animal
Well,
is
I've
oppressive?
never forcefully inseminated an animal.
No,
but
would you say it's oppressive?
do you think about forceful insemination of animals a lot?
I do. Do you think it's oppressive?
I don't think about forceful insemination of animals at all.
But you still haven't answered my question. Do you think it's
dream
oppressive?
about forceful insemination of animals?
I know you're trying to
Do
poke fun of
you-
it, but some
I
animals are
am.
actually being forcefully inseminated by
Do you
that.
know
And
people
if
who
you
are
were, if you were
forcefully
to do it,
inseminated by
if you were to do
animals?
that to a human
Do
being,
you know
how would
people
we
who
call it?
forcefully inseminate animals? I don't know anybody that forcefully I don't associate with people who forcefully inseminate animals.
Do you think
seem
you
like
do you think you
though?
support do you think you support
Do you
people who
know
inseminate?
People who forcefully inseminate?
Would you
I've
be
never
surprised to
met
find out?
Forceful inseminate? I don't ask personally. I don't say, "Hey, how's it going?"
Would you be
Forcefully
surprised-
inseminate animals?
Would you be surprised to find out that you might be paying for it?
I would not be surprised.
We're
What?
would I be surprised?
That
I
we're
mean, the
paying
world
for
is
it?
fucked,
I
so
feel like, yeah.
there's a decent chance anything bad is
I
happening.
feel like there
But
is
let's say
a-
that you've had the choice to not
Okay, we
pay
gotta
for it.
go.
If you had the
We
choice
gotta
to
go.
not pay for it. So if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal oppression.
I am vegan, you fucking idiot.
So why be like that? Man, some people are like I don't get some people, you know. You're trying to be nice to some people and they behave that way. It's okay. We're here to speak up for animals. Shake it off. I really dislike that person. Even if you were vegan, I really dislike him. Even if you were, I still dislike him. I dislike that type of person.
You mean seriously?
Say that again?
You mean seriously? Come and talk to me?
Yeah, you wanna try? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Sorry?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, how long?
I don't know. How long do you have?
Oh, I'm not in a hurry.
Okay.
Well, let's say 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm talking to him right
Good
now.
and bad doesn't exist. Eating animals is okay. Even raping is okay. Good and bad doesn't exist. End of argument. I win.
There you go.
He even admitted it. Good and bad doesn't exist. Then he comes talking about it's so bad to eat animals. Blah, blah,
You
blah.
wanna talk to me? You wanna debate me? It seems like you
Hypocritical.
wanna
Makes no
debate me?
sense. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, is oppressing animals moral in your view?
Yes. No, it's not wrong or right.
Is oppressing animals okay?
It's not. There's no good and bad, as you said.
So according to your values, if I were to kill a human being, would that be good or bad?
There's no good and bad, as you said.
According to your values, not my values. According to your
I don't have
values,
values
you don't have values.
about good and bad.
So killing human beings is okay.
I have no opinion about it. I don't say it's good. I don't say it's bad.
So you're agnostic towards killing
Yes.
human beings.
Exactly.
Are you agnostic towards raping human beings?
Also, yes.
So you think it's either neither here nor there?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you. You're that psychopath who thinks it's raping is okay.
I'm just being consistent. You said last time that morals don't exist, and then you want to talk about morals. How does that make sense?
They don't exist, but everybody has values. Yes.
Some don't have. They're agnostic.
Say it again.
Some are agnostic.
I cannot possibly be agnostic towards suffering or somebody being
How
unjust
do you
towards
go from
somebody
having
else.
morals to fighting for animal rights?
Because it's animals also deserve to not be exploited or slaughtered.
Why?
Because we
You
are
don't
human.
believe in morals, you said.
Well, I do believe in my values. I do believe people have
What are your
values. I don't
values?
believe that values are an inherent thing. It's not an objective thing. I don't believe in objective values.
So it's
yes.
subjective.
Yeah,
for
they're
you.
very much subjective. Not just
What
for
do
me.
you
For
base them
everybody
on?
else who I speak to, they think values. They have certain values.
I think there's only objective truth.
Do you think there's only objective truth? Yeah. What is your objective truth then?
There's no good and bad. It's a human invention by subjective people who
Okay.
think.
Would it be good for you if somebody were to cut your throat?
I wouldn't notice. I'll be dead.
Would it be good for you if somebody cut your hand?
I think the adrenaline will take over and I will not feel
So would it be
anything.
good or would it be bad?
Neither.
Neither.
Right.
If somebody stabbed you, would it be good or would it be bad?
Neither.
I
That's
mean,
the
if you're not
point.
going to be intellectually honest,
no
I don't
good
want to
and
have a
bad.
conversation with you.
I'm enlightened. That's
You're,
why.
sure, you're enlightened. Yeah, sure.
The
Okay.
golden middle
yeah,
road between
sure.
the good and the bad.
Okay, okay. Well, then have a good enlightened day. I'm sorry.
Once you reach it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's true. I am speaking on behalf of animal rights. So, how do you feel about animals in general?
Well, I think we just blatantly exploit 99.9 and maybe a few more nines of animals.
Yeah.
And then we have few pets at home and
Yeah.
we adore them and do everything for their benefit. But it's a very, 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 very tiny percentage of animal kingdom. Yeah, of course, some live in the nature, but most of them are simply utility animals.
Yeah.
To milk them, to get meat out of them.
And do you think it's wrong to do this to them?
Yeah, it's just again, what's right, what's wrong. I mean, in nature, animals, kill other animals.
Well, we can definitely, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked this other person, which you were here for. Do you think raping somebody is wrong?
That's wrong. Yeah.
So there is right and wrong. There is some form of
Well,
values
that's
that we
my-
can
yeah,
assign.
true. Like, I really. For these kind of questions, I look at them through the lens of boundaries. Whether you cross somebody's boundaries or not, and raping, to me, is certainly crossing violently somebody's boundaries.
I agree. But wouldn't that apply to if we did exactly the same act to an animal?
Yeah, certainly we cross their boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing because quite in spirituality, so I also follow some celebrities in that world. And one thing I learned is like we as humans have something called collective consciousness, which actually determines how civilization will evolve. But animal species have that as well. And I think it was about cows, is there are different species of cows. And with the advancement of civilization as we have it now, they have to decide how to survive.
Yeah.
So they had to choose a path, is to be actually exploited by by humans, or to stay in wilderness. And
But do you think they chose to be exploited?
that's I'm just trying to recall
Yeah.
the theory that I've heard
Yeah.
on some other YouTube channel
Yeah.
probably. So yeah, they chose to be exploited because as a way of surviving as a species.
Well, I think.
So they chose
But
for
it's not even the same species, is it? The wild animals that came close to us are totally different than the animals that are today. So they're not even the same species, first of all. And second, they didn't choose to be exploited. What they chose was to stick around us so that we have
Yeah.
like a relationship where we help each other, right? A symbiotic relationship. Like
True.
any other animals in nature, because there are whales who have symbiotic relationships with other animals. They thought, they assumed, or they went exactly as it happens in nature, that it would be a symbiotic relationship, not one where we use them or exploit them for our own benefit and they don't get anything out of it, because these animals don't get anything out of it.
well, let's see. Yeah, It's just, yeah, it's opportunistic from human side. We feed them.
But we bring them to life to kill them.
Yeah, we feed them until they, grow large enough to so that we have biggest benefit out of them.
Is that really moral to do so? To bring somebody to life to kill them, and we can justify it by saying I fed them?
Not that, and I hope it's gonna change.
Can it change if everybody is paying for it?
Well, it could change quite easily if people turn vegetarian
Or vegan? Because vegetarians still do the same thing, huh?
Well, vegetarian means you eat milk and eggs.
And milk and eggs still exploit and slaughter innocent animals.
It's still that. True. So even vegetarian, vegan, yeah, that would help animals. But I don't know. It's again, to me, it's a bit of a gray area. I think there is something to say about it. The animals and their, collective consciousness level. Some species decided to go that route. So shorter lifespan, but they still multiply in large quantities.
But these species are none of them chose. So actually, we selectively bred these species to produce more milk, to grow faster, so that we can exploit them faster and easier. We bred them to be more docile, to produce more, and to be more helpful towards us. But the only thing you can say we gave them is we feed them. But we never even give them a chance. We don't give them freedom. We don't give them anything. We decide everything for them.
True. Well, at least you give them shelter and you give them food. So actually, they grow in safe environment.
Would you rather have? Let me ask you
wolf.
this.
Okay. Well, so some wolf or something or a bear, whatever, and some predator.
Well, we killed also those. We killed off those also. So there's no more predators anyway. But like.
Oh no! They're growing. Like in Central Europe, like they have huge overpopulation of brown bear.
I come from Romania, where it's the largest population of brown bears, and they're still being killed off. So it's.
Yeah.
But like, let me ask you this: would you rather be enslaved and have a date written when you're going to be killed, and don't actually have any freedom, but you get fed and a roof, or would you rather wing it and try to survive on your own?
I'd say the latter.
Yeah. So why would we assume that they would want anywhere else differently, right? Like we seem to think that if we don't take care of them, that somehow they would be, I don't know, exploited and killed in awful ways. But they're already exploited and killed in awful ways. We already do that to them, right? And we can just choose to not participate in it, and thus not bring them to life, only to kill them.
By being a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do about it? Do you want to go vegan and not be part of this, or do you want to continue being the people who put them in this position?
I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian. When it comes to the step to be vegan, once in a while I have milk and cheese and so on. Once in a while I have meat. True.
But like dairy cows are forcibly inseminated, and they take their babies away from them, just so that, because if the babies stay with the mother, they would drink their milk, so they separate them. And do you live here in Netherlands? Have you been to the goat farm here in Amsterdam Sebas?
I've been close, but not there.
Okay. So if you want to see like a farm, you can go there, and you'll see that the parents are separate, the mothers, because the fathers always get killed if they're male. They're separated from the babies. You'll see it there. You'll see that there's only females and maybe 2 or 3 males, and they're used for their semen, so that they can replicate them. And you'll also notice that in the pen where they keep the kids, the babies, that they're also separated there. So some are male and some are female, and the males are separated because they'll either be killed or grown for meat or something like that. Yeah. And you'll also see, because I was there a couple of times, and I filmed there. They also have these machines where the babies, they don't get fed milk from their mothers, but rather a formula that's like, you see the dust and they mix it with water, and that's how they feed them. So even on that farm, which is considered like a good farm here, like it's one of those, it's biological, it does everything according to how agriculture should be done, or how animals should be treated. Even there, they still do these practices because it's just so standard. It's them to do this.
That's supposed to be efficient, right?
It's also supposed to be efficient, of course, yeah, because that's the whole thing of it, right? If we let animals breed when they want to, if we only take the excess milk, if we don't kill them when they no longer get pregnant or don't produce enough milk, then it's not efficient enough for us to actually keep them alive. So, yeah, so why not just not do any of it, in my opinion? Why not just get say no to all of it? We have so many alternatives these days anyways, right? Like, what's the point of even paying for that?
Step by step. Yeah.
Step by step. So how many more animals should be exploited for you until you make a change?
I don't know.
You don't know. How many do you want?
I don't know as well. It's just I take it day by day.
Take it day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how many animals should be exploited for you today?
Okay, based on my shopping, yeah, I have some quiche, there's some eggs and
But what you have in the fridge doesn't matter, right?
No, that's
Like
what I
what
bought
else?
today.
What you already bought. The question is, what are you going to buy going forward? Because that's when you request exploitation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What has happened in the past happened in the past. I'm not here to judge or place blame or put fingers. But what it's important is what we do going forward. Because if going forward, you know that you're supporting this system where we exploit cows, we rape them, we take their babies and we kill them, then. And if you are not okay with it, then you're being a hypocrite if you're continuously supporting it, right? And I don't know, I personally, that the reason why I went vegan was because I just couldn't justify it. I wanted to be, I wanted to look at myself in the mirror and think of myself as a fair person, not somebody who supports this kind of stuff, So, do you want to support this kind of stuff or do you want to?
well, I don't support it largely, I would say, but I also think that some nutrients you get best out of animal products.
But you can get from other sources also.
True.
I mean, I'm a certified nutritionist. You can get everything
Oh,
that
yeah.
you want from plants and plant-based products.
True, but what I know, for example, is if you want to get iron, easiest is to get it from beef. You can get it from plant products, but somehow they don't digest as easily. It's
If you
way
take it with vitamin C, it assimilates better.
better, but still not as good as from animal products. It's from
But
beef.
heme iron, the one that you get on meat, it's the one that our body also produces, and it's not very healthy for us. The only reason why heme iron, the iron that we take in our body converts it to heme iron, and then they absorb it, right? So of course, if you're going to take heme iron directly, our body doesn't need to convert it anymore, and it's going to absorb it directly. But when we take in iron, our body will only convert the quantity that it needs. If you take in too much heme iron, it can also be detrimental to you. So regardless, like I would say, like health-wise, you can make it work and you can thrive on it. It's just morally speaking, doing this to these animals, do you really think it's fair? Knowing that, okay, well, it's a little bit easier this way or it's a little bit more difficult that way, really? Can we really justify raping a cow because it's a little bit easier for us?
Yeah, in that case, I just go with the system.
What do you mean?
Well, it is accepted, and I'm on the lower side of exploitation in comparison.
But like during slavery times, slavery was accepted by the system, and there were people who had slaves. So, would you have been a person who had slaves, or would you have been a person who stood up to this injustice?
Or I would have slaves and treat them fairly.
Yeah, is that really treating somebody fairly, removing their liberty away from them, and using them for whatever you want? Would it be okay for somebody to do that to you?
Again, I mean, you can go with the system or you can go against it. That's both fine.
But
It's your choice.
the reality is that it's not even going against the system because there's two systems already. You live here. You go into a supermarket. You have so many alternatives. So to say that you're going against the system or that it's difficult, it's a little bit. I'm sorry, but it's not true. It's just not true. It's so easy here to go vegan. It's like literally just switching from this aisle to this aisle in the supermarket. That's it.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, you're a certified nutritionist. I'm I'm quite interested into nutrition, but with, for example, iron.
Yeah.
I knew once I had deficiency. Like I cycled for 5 minutes and I got tired. Then I figured out, okay, I didn't take any supplement for 2 months or so,
Yeah.
like iron supplements. And I had a burger, it was fixed very quickly. I don't know how long it would take with supplements.
But red meat is also typed to be carcinogenic. So I don't know, like if you think eating red meat is somehow healthy,
Oh well, yeah,
I don't
it's
think it is.
carcinogenic. I don't know about that,
It is
but
for the colon.
but on the other hand, if you do it once or twice a month, let's say,
Yeah, it
mean,
doesn't.
the
It only
con-
adds a little bit to your chances of cancer, but you also kill an
yeah.
innocent sentient being when you could have otherwise just supplement, as you say, right? Like if you really, like if you have a deficiency, will the doctor tell you to supplement, or will they tell you, oh, eat this thing that is high in saturated fat, raises your chances of heart disease and your chances of colon cancer?
yeah, if the
I mean, every doctor, this isn't even me as a vegan telling you. This is every institution on this planet will tell you to cut down or not eat red meat at all if you can, because it's not healthy. It's just not, red meat isn't healthy, regardless. Like I can acknowledge that fish meat is the one that is healthy for humans, but I still wouldn't endorse it because we have other alternatives. But red meat is just very unhealthy for us.
in large quantities, yes, for sure.
Even in small quantities, it's just like, of course, in small
I mean,
any toxin that you take in a small quantity will have less of an impact if you take it every day, of course. But
Or I mean, yeah, if you take it once or twice a month, and then yeah, the body would clean.
so then, if I come back to the animals, how do you justify doing that to animals when when again you could literally get everything that you need from plants and plant-based products?
I still well, I mean, we can just move in circles here, but I'd say for some specific nutrients, it seems to go easier if you take animal products.
So if I find it easier to kill you and get certain nutrients from it, is that fair?
No, it's not.
So do you consider yourself a fair person in general?
Not completely.
Not completely. So it's okay to be unfair sometimes because you get some benefit from it?
That's what I do.
Yeah, well, that's what Nazis people did. That's what everybody does, because the minute that they're faced with it, the minute that they get a certain amount of benefit, when they have a number in front of them, when they have the benefit that they want to get, they will do awful things. So maybe you're just not shown a good enough number, but maybe with a good enough number, you would be capable of doing awful things. And if you think about yourself differently, then maybe you shouldn't be doing even these small things. Because if you justify the small things, you can definitely justify the big things.
Oh, that's extrapolation, which may not work.
Any small injustice you can justify by saying I'm unfair, it's okay. You can justify any big injustice when you think that way.
I don't think so. You can, depends.
You're justifying rape, exploitation, and murder. It's not even small.
Okay, well, on the other hand, it happens in nature as well. There are predators who kill other animals.
Yeah, so that means you should be able to do it because other animals do it, right?
It's not should.
Yeah. So if somebody were to commit infanticide, it would be okay because it happens in nature, after all.
It happens in nature, yeah.
So somebody killing their baby, you would think that's okay because it happens in nature. And they only did it this one time. What do you mean? They didn't do it. They didn't kill every baby they had. They only killed this one baby. So it's okay.
No, it's a cruel world sometimes.
Well, it's not a cruel world. You make it cruel.
Well, me? Who is me, you mean?
You for making these choices. Your choices are making the world a little bit crueler.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we going with this?
Nowhere. I think we're done. I think if you want to continue doing animal exploitation, I don't think I want to continue speaking to you. That's it.
All right.
Wow. Get ready, everybody. It's going to be one of those days. Oh, I see Henry Zoom is in the chat. Everybody be aware, Henry Zoom is not interested in discourse. Henry Zoom, if you want discourse, contact me so we can debate. Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty crazy day. It's gonna be like that today. I have a feeling. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna do our best. Okay, we're gonna do our best. Of course, you stand with him, Neo. Of course. Do you think, Neo? Do you think exploiting animals is okay? No, Henryism, you are allowed here. I'm just telling everybody that you're not interested in discourse. That's it. If you were interested in discourse, I mean, you can acknowledge that you're not interested in discourse. You're just coming here to come up with excuses to continue being violent towards animals. I mean, you can acknowledge that that's what you're here to do. You're here um, to continue. No, 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 it's not an echo chamber, Henry Zoom. I have invited you several times to come and debate me live. Okay, that's not an echo chamber. That's literally speaking to each other. Okay, an echo chamber would be me not listening to your opinion. No, I want to listen to your opinion. I want you and me to have a conversation. Okay, I want you and me to speak and have a proper conversation. So contact me so we can do that live. It's simple as that. Okay, Henryism. I see you want to resume. I see you want to assume a position of a victim because that's what you do. You're the victim here. So as I said, everybody, be careful. He's not here for discourse. He's just here to come up with excuses. That's all I'm saying. You guys can spend your time speaking to whoever you want. I'm not here to dictate any of that. I'm just here to tell you that this individual is not interested in discourse. And for everybody who's here and is new, we don't normally do this kind of stuff to people. It's just that some people keep coming back and keep saying exactly the same things on every stream. Henry Zoom is one of them. Some of these people, they come back, they say repeatedly exactly the same things. They don't listen. They're not interested in listening. They're just interested in typing out what they want to say, what they think they say. So we cannot possibly have discourse. The reason why I do these live streams is because I want to have discourse, is because I want us to have conversations, is because I want people to think for themselves. That's the whole reason. And I know some of you may disagree with the idea of having discourse, or you just want to be put in an echo chamber and with people like yourselves.
Hey guys.
But that's not what we're doing here. Hey, you guys want to do a social experiment? Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna try.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Can you come? Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Lucas.
Lucas. Nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
We're from Brazil.
Brazil. Love it. Okay. Lucas, how do you feel about animals?
Animals?
Yeah.
I love animals.
Yeah.
Actually, I love dogs, cat, and birds.
Okay. You love birds. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do you think that we should be using birds like for our benefit?
I don't think so. No.
No.
I think they have to be free.
They have to be free.
Yes.
I appreciate it because they can be free, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, what about the birds that? What about chickens? They're birds.
They chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they should be free?
Yes.
Yes. Are you vegan?
No, I'm not. But I'd like to.
You'd like to be vegan?
Yes.
Okay. Why is it that you want to be vegan?
Sorry, what is that?
Why do you want to be vegan?
Because I think the industry of meat is very, I don't know how to say, but there's a word to that, like not good.
Yeah. I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's very cruel, isn't it?
Yes,
With the animals.
it is.
Can you actually, just as a question, do you think you can be against cruelty of animals or say that you love animals if at the same time you pay for them to be slaughtered or exploited for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that work? Isn't that not a contradiction?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Because if I say I love women and then I pay somebody to beat up women, it's not. I don't really love women, right?
Yeah, I think most of people have to change their mind and not say that like I love animals and keep eating it.
Yeah.
I think everyone should think about their actions, because most of people say that
love animal, but they don't stop to eat it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like not only chicken, but how to say the
Cows, pigs,
yeah,
all of that.
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Also birds.
Do you think that from their perspective they have an experience of the world like you do now, right? Like you feel, you look around, you're curious about this one thing, you think about this other thing, you dream, stuff like this. Do you think animals have this also?
Yes. Yeah, I think they have their lives.
Yeah, so if you ask me why it would be wrong to harm a human being, I would say because of this, right? Because you know, I also experience the world through my eyes, you experience the world through your eyes. So for somebody to come and destroy my whole experience just because they get some benefit from it, it would be wrong, because you know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want that to happen to me, just like you wouldn't want that to happen to you, right? So we try not to do it to others so that nobody does it to us, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So then shouldn't we apply the same logic to animals also?
Yeah. I think I'll think about it.
Yeah, yeah. So how many more animals should go into slaughterhouses, should be exploited, should have their throat cut for you until you make a change?
Um, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
How many do you want?
Um, none, I think.
None. Yeah, yeah. You gotta go vegan. You gotta go vegan for
Yeah,
that.
I should try.
You should try. Yeah.
I would start a program to try to start to be vegan, but
Yeah.
you know, when we are starting it in this world, it's a little difficult because of the industry, you
Yeah.
know. But I think people should try. Yeah.
What is being vegan to you, by the way? What is being vegan to you?
Um, I think it's not only about the food. There are a lot of products that is also animal made,
Yeah.
right? Like people explore animals like to test
Yeah.
these product in animals. So we should try to use products and it's food that is not like animal made.
Yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
also care about the animals in our
Exactly.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, so being vegan is a moral position. It's not a diet or anything where we say animals should not be exploited, abused, or slaughtered for us.
Yes.
Just like you
In
seem to
general,
agree with it,
yeah.
exactly, right? So of course, as a consequence, we're not gonna pay for them to be killed, for them so that we can wear their skin, eat their flesh, or whatever else we think of, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it seems like your values are there. You just need to align your actions with it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because like, I don't know, like I feel like you should do it because you owe it to yourself, not just for the animals, but because you seem like an honest person with yourself. And can you really, I don't, for me, when I went vegan was because I looked at myself in the mirror and I said I couldn't possibly think of myself as an honest person if I'm doing this complete injustice towards animals,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
That's
give you a
it.
card that will help you out.
Oh, sure,
You
thank
have a
you.
thing here that's called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist and send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan for free.
Oh, thank you.
You gonna try that?
Yes, I will.
Okay, I appreciate you, man. I
Have a nice
appreciate it.
day.
Yeah, you too. Cheers. Bye, everyone. Oh, that was a decent conversation, right? It's a pretty good conversation. Yeah, great conversation. I also thought so. I also thought so. Um, oh, wow. So everybody in this chat, I think I put a poll, didn't I? Huh? Let me see if I can see the results of that poll. I always want to see if I can. Let's see, what does this button do? Oh, it's highlights. Oh, damn, I did highlights just now. Oh. Hi.
Social experiment.
I just asked you some questions. You want to try it? Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Okay, good.
Yeah. You want to come closer to
Where
the
do I
chair?
stand? Stand
Yeah.
close to you?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
Love
good.
it. What's your
Hello.
name?
Emily.
Emily. I'm Chip. Where are you from?
Hi, Chip. Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Yes,
oh,
I
love
work.
it, love it.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so Emily, how do you feel about animals?
Animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different. I mean, I'm an animal eater.
You're an
but
animal
I
eater,
have
yeah.
my pet animals as well, which I don't eat. Of
Yeah.
course. So
Why not?
I'm a bit divided in animals and animals.
Yeah.
So,
So do you think that there's a difference between your pet and these other animals that you eat?
For me, yeah.
Well, what's that difference?
Yeah. Well, the difference is the purpose. I mean, I'm like one of these persons that, yeah, the animals are here. What I always wondered about the animals, they don't defend themselves. I mean,
Because
they
we
have.
bred them for that purpose, yeah.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. I used to live on a farm, and then we had our own pigs and we had our own chickens, and ate them, and there was not a point. And
Yeah.
we slaughtered them ourselves. And that, now it's a bit of a distance between the animals you eat and the animals you pet, the animals you have in a house, live
Do you
in a
think?
city.
Do you think from their perspective, from the perspective of a cow who's being sexually exploited so that they can get pregnant for milk?
Yeah,
do you
that's
think
really
do you think from that
horrible.
perspective,
Yeah, that's really horrible.
from the perspective of the cow, is there any difference from their perspective versus a perspective of one of our pets?
You know what it is? I grew up on a farm, yeah?
Yeah.
So you have these farmlands.
Yeah.
And then my mother told me that the cows, they have these really, the Dutch cows, yeah?
Yeah.
And not meat cows in Austria or whatever.
Yeah, they're
They have
different,
this
yeah.
weird shit, you know, they have diarrhea all the time because they are pregnant and they have to give milk all the time. So they are practically sick. It's
And
not
we
good.
shouldn't bring them to existence, though, just for us to
No,
exploit
and if you
them.
see
then,
the cows in the fields in another country, for example in France, they cultivate them for the meat. And they can keep the small ones and they live in groups together. There are wild cows as well between in the south of Holland. They look so happy.
Yeah.
And they shit normally. They have normal shit, you know, consistent. I
Yeah.
mean, normal, healthy. And
Yeah,
they
exactly.
look happy. And these milk cows, I don't know, this is a bit sad, yeah.
Do you think there's any ethical way to farm animals?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Can you describe
like
it to me?
we did before. I mean, we had our pigs and we named them and we petted them. And then,
You took their
yeah,
life. Is that ethical?
we took the life. That's okay. I mean, I can take anybody's. I can take your life for that
And
matter.
would that be ethical?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not ethical in taking lives. No, absolutely not. No.
No,
You
so-
consider me a serial killer. I
So,
think-
so wait, do you think it's ethical to take somebody's life?
Sure.
Really?
Oh yes, there are some people are really wishing that. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm not.
I'm talking about
fine.
innocent
you
people
can't
right
hire
now.
me, but yeah, what is innocent?
people who have not harmed you.
Haven't thought- Well, that's the thing about the cows. What have they done wrong? You know, they did nothing
Yeah.
wrong in their whole lives, in the whole history of human beings. Did you know that these milk cows in Holland that they were first breeded in America, shipped and brought back to Holland? It's not an original animal in Holland.
It's not an
The original
animal
cow
anywhere.
doesn't look
yeah.
like that at all.
Yeah.
So that's a weird thing as well.
But
Yeah,
I-
the cow thing is hard.
You're saying a lot of things, but I fail to understand where your values are because I'm
why
just a
don't
little
we
bit
eat-
struck by the
Why
idea
don't
that
we
you think
eat
it's okay to
people,
kill
for example?
humans.
There are a lot of humans that are obsolete.
But you
Why
should
don't
have no issues
Yeah,
eating
why,
people,
why
right?
don't we eat them? If they're in the supermarket, there was a human sausage, I would buy it and eat it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So would you pay for humans to be killed and exploited for you?
Well, the exploitation. Nah, I would volunteer for it. Yeah.
You would volunteer for killing them and exploiting
No,
them?
no, being eaten. I think that's very nice.
But that's a
that
different
when
thing.
you're dead
That's a consent.
anyway, that
That's
you're
that's
eaten. But I think
consensual,
that's
right?
good. Yeah, sure.
But like against their consent. Would it be okay
The
to
animals
kill
cannot
and
give a consent.
So
I mean,
therefore
the
we should
pig
force
doesn't
them?
Say, oh yeah, pick me. I'm good for eating.
so
now.
therefore
That's
we
not
should
nice.
force them? Because if they cannot give consent, should we force them?
No, no, no. No, and when we had the chickens, we choose a chicken to eat. And we chose that chicken. And then, well, you know what the Indians did? They had a kind of celebration around the animal you ate. And I think that should come back. Like maybe a religious thing. that
How
you-
about we just don't kill them?
Boring. No.
Boring.
I'm pro-killing, yeah.
You're pro killing. So you're
Yeah,
are you
I'm
pro war?
No, not pro-war.
Why
War
not?
is-
It
war
seems
is
to be something you
boring.
really enjoy. It's killing.
No, war is boring. I mean, killing should be more creative.
Are you
Should be
trolling
more
me
a
right now?
religion, no, it should be a religious thing.
It should be a religious thing. It should war should be a religious thing.
No, not war. War is,
Killing should be a religious thing.
yeah, war is a male thing. You know, men like, well, I have a weapon.
Do
I
you have
can-
a daughter
no,
or
I
something
don't
like
care.
that?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Would it be okay for somebody to take their life, to kill her?
No,
Why
absolutely
not? If
not.
you
no.
seem to think that killing is okay. It's
No,
it's
no, but-
somehow spiritually nice and beautiful.
No, if
What
it
if they
is-
did a celebration afterwards?
Maybe.
So if they
Maybe.
celebrated
I
it, it
consider
would be okay.
Yeah, I consider. Yeah, I consider. Right, I really have to go because I have a time slot. Oops, what am I saying?
I don't
Good
know
luck
what to
with
tell
this.
you. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty psychopathic what you're saying. Jesus Christ, people. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, everybody. I, a person who says killing other people is okay. I'm like, holy crap. But of course it's not. I just think they're trolling. Yeah. At least she cared for her daughter. No, she didn't. She said we could kill her daughter as long as we do a celebration afterwards. She doesn't care about her daughter. Hey, Skyjack, Morgan, Mr. Sky. Are we live? Yes, we are live, yes. At least she was consistent. Yeah, sure. At least she was consistent. Although I don't think she was consistent. I think, there's people who do this thing where they ignore their emotions, ignore what they actually feel, ignore their values, just so that they can save face to their values, to what it is that they're saying. It's a little bit of a bravado that they're doing. Fuck me. But you have to give me a second because the microphone isn't working. Can you guys hear me okay now? Good now? Better? Better? Yep. Okay. Okay, back. Love it. Okay. Okay. Are you okay being live from my YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, can you guys come a little bit closer then?
Yes.
Where are you guys from?
France.
France.
France too.
Oh, you're France. Sorry. What are your names?
France.
South of France. Love it. What are your names?
Claire.
Claire.
Clémence. Camille.
Claire, Clémence, and
Camille.
Camille. Is it like a C letter club or something?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So, do you know what a subjective experience is?
No.
No. So, when you experience the world through your eyes,
Yes.
you have a consciousness, right? And you experience it, you feel emotions, you think, you interact with objects, and all of this is called a subjective experience. Do you understand what I mean now? Yeah. Do you think that I have a subjective experience?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Everyone has. Yeah.
How do you know?
I don't know. Maybe the thing that. Comment on dit dégager? The presence, maybe, of every people.
You interact with other objects, so yes.
Okay. I interact with other objects. That's a good one. I have emotions, right? I feel,
Yes.
and you can tell that from my expressions or things that I do. Okay, that's cool. Do you think animals have that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they have that.
Every thing who lives in this earth
Organic
has
things.
interactions with other things and stuffs also.
Like plant.
Plants also have it.
But
Yes.
animal more than us, maybe because they're less interrupted by everything we can experience as humans, I guess.
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
They're feeling more than us because
Yeah.
I don't know. They're
I can agree with that. I think, like in essence, we have this capacity to put emotions on our backside and continue without actually feeling something, right? Whereas animals, I don't know if they have that capability, but we can assume they don't, right? So, okay. And you said plants have that.
Yes.
So, do you think
They speak together.
Do you think these
between
plants-
them. Yes.
Maybe.
they're
Yes.
somebody?
Yes.
we don't study a lot, but I think maybe plants can too because some plants interact with animals.
Yes.
Like
and
the
with each other also.
Which plants
Yeah.
interact with animals?
I don't know the English name, but it's carnivore plants.
Oh, yeah.
I think of them.
But did you know that plant, if you put in not an animal, but like a key, a rock, they will still close up and try to digest it?
Maybe sometimes I try with my fingers.
So doesn't that mean that they're not actually interacting with the world? They're just mechanical?
No, because it's.
I think there are some sensitive things on the plant.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's like my phone, right? When I touch my phone, it lights
yeah,
up
but
because
it's organic, so.
yeah, it's like an organic machine, right? That's what it is.
And some leaves have a sort of protection from the sun, so I think plants.
But do you
are-
think do you think plants make decisions?
I don't know.
Decisions, I don't know,
I don't know
but
if
they're a
if
natural
conscious,
instinct.
but
Yeah.
I know some plants are capable of moving by themselves. So
Plants to move? I have
Yeah.
never seen that.
yeah, some trees very slowly, yeah, but they're moving.
You mean like towards the sun and stuff?
No, like really the roots are moving, but
They get out of the ground and move?
no,
not get out.
they're not like running, but just.
I understand very slowly, but do
Yeah,
do they get out of the ground? What happens there?
I'm not sure, but I know some plants. I think are moving with water or something towards water. So
So let's put it this way: the scientific consensus is that plants don't actually do any of this, right? Like plants are just automatrons, right? They're like my phone. They're like a computer. They have just very complex mechanistic items within them. So when you touch a plant, they will react in a certain way. If you pull them, you know, a plant you can cut them, put them in water, and they'll grow roots also,
Yes.
right? So you're not really killing a plant when you're cutting them, for example, right?
yeah.
Plants develop fruit so that we can eat their fruit and poop out their seeds so they grow more plants, right? So no animals do that kind of stuff, right? Animals are specifically no animals, no humans. We also don't do that, right? We literally breed each other. We have eggs. We have we have this whole thing to it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're very much the same as animals in that matter. So would it be okay to exploit animals?
Exploit.
Yeah.
In which way?
Let's say forcefully inseminate them.
No.
No, I don't want
No.
that.
No, it would not be okay to forcefully inseminate an animal.
No.
No. Do you think that in animal agriculture that's what they do?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so. Like cows, they force them to have babies to produce milk and things like that. So. Yes.
Do you think that is okay to do that to
No.
them?
No.
No. No. Do you buy milk or cheese or stuff like that?
I try to.
Never.
Or only in seasons where cows have milk because they have baby. So only particular cheese. Like I know they're.
So still some cows who are forcefully inseminated.
No, but in your project in France, we know that the cow are having babies, so that the milk is from the babies, not forced. I don't, I don't think you understand,
But if the milk is for the babies, how does the milk end up in your plate?
I think it's kind of regulated. Yeah, there's sort of balance between the both. So
You think they get fed the milk?
the
The babies, yeah.
yeah.
A bit,
Yeah.
and then their kids also.
They separate them, you know, from their mother.
Yeah, and the
So that they don't
babies
drink the
are
milk.
Killed.
Yeah, and they're
So
killed, yeah.
For us, for the meat.
Yeah,
If they're
but
male,
it
they get
depends.
killed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the standard practice everywhere. I come from Romania and I saw it in my grandma's backyard. They do the same thing. They separate the baby. My grandma used to let the baby drink from time to time milk, but very little, and then with a broom shoo them away and separate them. Is that okay to do to an animal?
It's nature.
It's
Well,
nature to
no.
forcefully inseminate them
No,
and take
it's
their
a
babies?
Human fault.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends. I guess so. Every species are eating each other. So, well,
Does that make it okay? If other species do it, does that make it moral?
I think if it's not too much, we have to regulate it. Yeah. Currently, humans are eating too much meat, but if it's
Wait, what's too much? If it's not bad, then there's no such thing as too much, right? So is it bad?
for the organism, eating too much meat is not good, and for the planet too, because
What about the animal?
and for the animals too, of course,
Yeah.
because they are living in a group and.
So who is it good for then?
Well, if we are not raiding them, some species could totally disappear because they couldn't survive in the wild. So they.
So what you're saying is that we should bring animals to life for the purpose of exploiting and killing them, because otherwise
no.
they would die in the wild.
No, but I don't know. But we have to keep a sort of balance between eating meat and not eating meat. So
Would it be balanced for somebody to kill your friends and eat them? It is meat after all.
Cows doesn't eat each other,
Yeah.
so it doesn't work.
What if you found out that one of you is a different species? Genetically, you're so different that you're a different species.
I would love to eat Clémence.
nice.
So would it be okay to kill her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good friends you have over there. Nah, can you hold this for a second?
Yes.
So, I just wanna, because maybe you don't believe me in all of this, but so this is where they get separated.
Okay.
They kept
We
them
come
apart.
from the countryside, so
Yeah.
we are.
It happens there also. It does happen.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but that's why
We
I
have
tell
in
you
France
that.
L214. I don't. You know this association? They show how the animals are
okay.
treated. Personally, I'm trying to be vegetarian, so I'm completely agree with you.
So this is what happens,
Yes,
right?
yes.
They
Masturbating.
masturbate a bull, yeah, and then they use the sperm and inject it in
Yes.
somebody, some cows, and all that for something you don't need, huh? For something you can live without.
Yes.
And then they do all this thing where they kill them. You think any of this is okay? Does this bring like
okay, it's not
we should do to this is what they do to male chicks because they don't produce eggs.
Yes.
They blend them up alive.
Personally, we have our own chicks, so
So you paid for this, yeah?
no.
How many eggs does your chicken lay?
3 a day. So
Oh, you definitely paid for this. All chickens that lay more than 12 eggs per year, because that's what a wild chicken would lay, any chicken that lays more than 12 eggs per year comes from a hatchery. In hatcheries, when a chicken comes out of an egg, there's a 50-50 chance they'll be either male or female. The males, they get blended up alive. The females go into your backyard or other farms. So you are paying for this if you have them in your backyard. This is the forceful insemination of pigs. And this is pigs are put in gas chambers for meat and everything else. This is for down feathers, for down jackets and all this kind of stuff. They plug them while they're alive. This is for foie gras. They force feed them. Yeah, force feeding them, huh?
I stopped eating foie gras since 10 years because of that. So
Yeah, this is for wool. You see, shearing is very painful for them. And
about the skins.
yeah, let me get to it. This is what they do eventually when they can no longer exploit them. They kill them. This is using stunning, electrical stunning. Then they hang them upside down to kill them.
So
We are aware about all of this
because of L214 in France.
and every lot of things.
And do you want to continue paying for this?
I buy quality meat.
So you pay for this animal to be killed.
No, that's not that one.
So if you were to find out that you're paying for this kind of violence, for a knife to the throat of an animal, would you see it as obligation to stop?
An obligation? No,
No. So you don't really like animals then?
I guess not. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think this is okay? Huh?
No,
But you seem to. But this is exactly what you pay for. I'm just showing you a knife to the throat of an animal. This is standard practice in killing any animal. And you think this is okay?
I already answered.
I think she knows, but it's from tradition. With my sister, we don't eat animals because of that. I'm trying to not eat animals. So.
Not hit them, but if you pay for somebody to cut their throat.
I'm not paying because I don't eat meat
Yeah, but dairy products do the same thing.
like milk.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't buy a lot of milk, so I'm trying.
So only some animals
Yes,
go
but
through that
I know
process.
that milk is not good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a substitute for the milk, but it's quite complicated because I'm not rich. That's why.
I'm gonna focus on you because you seem like a compassionate, fair person. Okay. So, and I appreciate you for being that way. But like, you know, these animals. The reason why I started this experiment with explaining what this subjective experience is because these animals have it too. All these animals that you saw in there, all of them, they every day their life goes like they wake up. They might be forcefully inseminated today, so somebody rapes them. they might give birth to their babies. When they give birth to their babies, they separate, they take their babies away from them. So that might happen to them. Or they might have a day when the farmer says, it's time for you to be killed. This is a life, even the best life on the best farms. This is the life of an animal. If you think that that is okay to do to them because they are a different species than you, because they were not born how you wanted them to be born, aka human, and you think that because they were born a different species, somehow they deserve to have this happen to them, and I'm sorry, I feel sorry for you. But if you think differently, then exploiting them, regardless if it's for meat, for milk, for any of it, then we shouldn't participate in any of it,
Yes.
okay? Okay, I appreciate you for being honest with me and for being more compassionate than your friends. The C Club. The C Club.
Yes.
She's the compassionate one.
I'm compassionate. too.
Yeah, sure,
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you think a knife to the throat of an animal is okay. And that's compassion. I would hate for somebody to be compassionate towards you if you think that's compassion.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Watch the Minion or the most important speech you'll ever hear, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate it. You just gotta scan this QR code.
Thank you.
Take the card also.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a nice afternoon.
I would say not to you, but to her. You have an awesome day.
Guys, that's
Yeah, well, I'm kind to everybody except the people who are violent towards others, and you guys choose to be
not
violent.
violent.
You pay for violence, therefore you are violent. Thank you. Have a good one. Oh, brother, I'm not taking none of this nonsense from people. Some of them really took it personally. That's okay. They should. It's insane. I showed them photos of animals having their throat cut and they said it's okay and they start making jokes about it. No, thank you. This isn't quality for people. This is shitty people trying to justify violence for no reason. No, thank you. So, no. Thank you, Louis. Yeah. Yeah. Cool hat says Bible Dumb Podcast. Thank you. It says critical hit. I used to do tabletop RPGs, and I loved tabletop RPGs. I only did like 3 games so far, and they're all awesome. Scam Chan says there's always violence. Yes, Scam Chan. Does that morally justify, because there's always violence in this world, does that morally justify you being violent? Because there's always violence? Should this whole world be a cesspool of violence, exploitation, and abuse? Because you know what? There's a little bit of violence in this world. Might as well be violent ourselves? What kind of logic is that? How can you guys just brush off crop deaths? We don't brush off crop deaths, by the way. We acknowledge, and it's horrible, the fact that crop deaths do happen. But you know what? Animals are killed in the production of roads. Animals are killed in the production of, like, crops. And animals are killed in the production of, I don't know, tires. Whatever it is that we're going to do, there is some form of killing happening. That doesn't morally justify us exploiting other innocent sentient beings and cutting their throat. That doesn't morally justify us bringing into existence beings only to inflict violence on them so that we can get some form of benefit from it, right? Just because there is violence in the world doesn't morally justify us bringing beings into existence to commit violence towards them, okay? This isn't about the fact that animals get killed. It's not. It's about exploiting them. It's about treating them like objects. It's about bringing them to life for the sole purpose of using them like objects and killing them. There is a giant difference. And if you think, well, you vegans are crazy, it is about that. Well, then you can easily just think this way. Animal agriculture depends on crop agriculture. Any deaths that happen during crop agriculture will obviously happen for animal agriculture also, because most of the crops grown for food are actually grown for animal feed. So that means that when you're going to be consuming an animal product, you're going to be, on top of enslaving, exploiting, and slaughtering an innocent animal, you're also killing all of the animals that were killed in the crop production to feed that animal. There you go. It's as simple as that. It makes no sense. We have to be at least a little bit logical. We cannot continue justifying pure violence, pure exploitation, and the worst things we do just because, oh, well, you know what, it's convenient. Somebody taught me that it's okay, because that's the reality. That's the reality. Everybody in this chat room, everybody who's not vegan does it because that's what they were taught to do. And I'm not here to judge. I don't care that you were taught that. I was taught that too. What the hell? All of us were brought up into this world by eating animal products, and we were told it's okay to do so. But you know what? All of us met somebody, saw it online, or something happened that all of us said, you know what? Maybe it isn't okay. Maybe we can choose otherwise. So if we can, and we can choose otherwise because most of us have access to supermarkets, and thus we can choose other products. So if we can choose other products, then when we make choices to buy animal products, we're choosing for innocent animals to be brought into existence so that we can exploit and inflict violence on them for something that we don't actually need. It's insane. It's insane. It's like, yeah, you gotta wake up from this. Like, you know, these industries, animal agriculture, big ass companies, they have big departments. They pay large sums of money to keep you in that. They pay money so that you are nice and docile and you listen to their propaganda. That's what they do. And you would rather side with them and go against the values that you probably have, which you would think that it would be wrong to exploit and slaughter innocent animals. And you would rather go with big companies. You'd rather make them money to assholes who will use their money probably in your detriment a lot of the times, who use a lot of those money to try and keep you in the dark from what's happening. And a lot of their money is also goes towards, you know, slaughtering innocent animals. It's insane to me that anybody would try to find justifications for this. That's the problem, you know? Like, you can come in, you can have questions, we can have discourse, and that's beautiful. That's what we want, you know, after all. None of us got to the point on our own, and none of us got to the point by saying, I don't know, oh yeah, you're right, that's what it is. No, we all had to think things through. We all had to go through all those questions, through all those if this, then that. But, you know, when we got to this point, we actually were open to the if this then that, because if you're just coming in trying to say and trying to find justifications, as in, look at you, vegans are not perfect. No, we're not perfect, of course not. Look at you, vegans are doing also bad things. Yes, we are also doing bad things. We're people, you know. There is some inherent harm that you cannot escape in this world. Would I love it if we could? Yes. If we had options to, and somebody presented me with an option to escape harm, I would choose to do that. But that's what we do. That's what we're doing here. We're telling you, hey, this is shitty. You agree that it's shitty. And here are the alternatives. Please choose otherwise. And a normal conversation would go like, well, what if this? What if that? Whatever. And then you're like, because we, you know, believe it or not, all the questions that you're probably going to be asked have been asked hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. Then we go through them and we go like, okay. Well, I need to think. Yeah, you need to think, of course, because it's a change that you're going to be doing in your life. But you need to think where your values lie. Do you really want to shit on your values, exploit innocent animals, and pay large sums of money to corporations so that they continue doing this for you and on your behalf, when you can easily choose otherwise? Is that what your values are? Is that what the type of person that you are? That you would rather put the profit of a corporation on top of the life of an innocent animal? I don't know, man. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. But if you guys are that, far be it from me to judge you. Just think, if you were in that position, just think, we live in a world where the powerful are getting a little bit more power these days. They are. We live in a world where the powerful are not just getting more power, but they're testing their power. They're trying to push a little bit more. What can we do to people? Can we do a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that? And if you're not realizing this, you're probably living under a rock. But this is what's happening in this world. So if you really, so you might find yourself on the other side of it at some point. You might find yourself being exploited by somebody. And then, are you gonna think, hell, I'm exploiting others just like others are exploiting me, just because they have power over me, just because I have power over them? Don't you think you should change? Don't you think you should choose otherwise? I'm just trying to portray it in all sorts of ways so that you guys can understand it. Because the reality is there's thousands of reasons to go vegan. I'm exaggerating, but there's a lot of reasons to go vegan. But there's almost no reason to not go vegan, other than some form of convenience or taste pleasure or some form of selfishness. And even then, it's still not the best.
What is this social experiment?
Hi,
Yeah.
are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Huh?
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
No.
No? Okay, then I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. You can be off camera if you want.
You mean you want to make a video?
I'm live on my YouTube channel
Yeah,
right
okay,
now.
okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to come closer so that you're in view?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Evgeny.
Evgeny, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? If you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal exploitation. Do you agree?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
And do you think it's okay to exploit innocent animals?
It's okay what?
To exploit innocent animals?
No.
No. So then, are you vegan?
No.
No?
No.
So are you okay with exploiting needless exploitation of animals?
I don't know what to say.
So you're saying that you agree with it, that if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
You say you're against needless animal exploitation, but you say you're not vegan. Do you see the contradiction?
I'm not vegan. Yeah.
So you see the contradiction?
Yeah.
So what do you want to do to resolve this contradiction?
I don't know, but I think today is 21st century and people make it some alternative meal like meat.
Yeah.
Then could be possible that they will do in the future for people, and there will be the same taste of like natural meat.
But we already have that.
Yeah.
The taste is very similar. We already have that.
Yeah.
So why not go vegan then?
Because I like meat.
But you could have alternatives, as you said.
Yeah, but where is possible to buy this?
You live here? Do you live here in the
if they have
Netherlands?
it, yeah, I live here.
Yeah. So they have it in the supermarket.
Yes, but not everywhere.
In all Albert Heijns, yes. In
Albert
all.
Heijn, yeah.
Yeah. In all Dirks.
I buy sometimes.
Yeah. So why not buy it always? Why exploit innocent animals?
I don't know. Okay, have a nice
If
day.
you were in their position, would you want somebody to exploit you?
I really have to go because I don't have time. I thought that will be much quickly. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm embracing the day, everyone. I know we're gonna have a day like this. I know we're gonna have a day where people are gonna be like this, so I'm embracing it. I'm sorry, but you're my second favorite vegan. My first is Earthling Ed, says Nick Branduk. Thank you. To even be on the same as Earthling Ed, that's still pretty good. Still pretty damn good. I actually would love to have conversations with Earthling Ed. I love the way he speaks. I love the way he formulates things. I think I have a little bit of a better logic than him, but I think he has a way better vocabulary and way of expressing things, which is a skill that I'm still working on. And I think that together we could do a hell of a lot of cool things. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Oh my God, somebody donated, by the way. Thank you for whoever donated. It's like they want to break your nerves. Oops, says Marcos. Yeah, Marcos, that's okay. You know, when I left home today, I expected to not have the best conversations, and that's okay. That's okay. There's days like that. There will always be days like that. Our role here is to try to inform people. Our role here is to try to get people to think a little bit about animals. You know, I think it's a win if somebody leaves these conversations thinking about it. If they leave this conversation, maybe they go, like the person we just talked to, they go to a supermarket and they think, you know what? He was right. Hey, you guys want to try the social experiment?
Yeah, of course.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
We're okay.
You're live.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. What are you guys' names?
Agustin.
Agustin, how about
Yeah.
you?
Leah.
Yeah. Are you with them?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I'm not
No, he's
participating.
You don't want to participate? Okay.
He's just a stranger. He's
Okay.
a stranger.
Okay. Where are you guys from?
From Chile.
From Chile.
Yes.
From Ecuador.
From Ecuador?
Yeah.
Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. How do you guys feel about animals?
I love animals.
You love animals?
Yeah, I love animals.
How about you?
I feel a bit sad because they're vulnerable
They're vulnerable.
Yeah.
In what way?
in every way. If we don't protect them, then nobody can protect them. Like
Yeah. So
themselves.
we have power over animals, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Would it be okay for us to abuse our power over them?
No.
No. No. Do you think that we might be abusing our power over them?
In some cases, yeah. I think
some
so.
We're abusing power over ourselves, even. So.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that you are probably supporting this abuse of power?
For sure.
For sure.
Indirectly, even. Indirectly.
Do you think that you could choose otherwise to not support this abuse of power?
Small gestures, yeah. We're doing like our part.
Be a vegetarian.
Yeah, but it depends on exactly on how do you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
Because-
farm animals? Yeah.
I'm also quite pragmatic because I think that there is some power on that, and there's like an arbitrary line that as a society we have decided that certain animals have more rights or they're like in a higher level.
Is that okay according to your values?
It's. I'm not sure if it's okay. I think it's just. It is like it is. Like it's not
From your
something that-
perspective.
From my perspective, of
But
course.
from the
right.
perspective of animals, what do you think? From the perspective of the animals who we draw the line and we said, you die.
No, I don't think it's I wouldn't say how possible it's for them like to say like that perspective. Like it's I can only talk about my perspective or
Yeah.
from a human being.
But you can imagine if you were in a situation where somebody has power over you and they decide because of the color of your skin
yeah, definitely.
or because of who you are or because of some quality that you're born with, because none of these animals made a choice to be this way. They just were born a species which we deem as not worthy of life or not worthy of a decent life, whatever, right? And if you were born in that situation, you can imagine that somebody with power, would it be okay for them to abuse their power over you?
No.
The answer is no.
No.
From the beginning, it has
But
been
yeah, as human beings, I think I think that I make the difference there.
So then if you wouldn't be okay for somebody to abuse their power over you, then shouldn't it be wrong for you to use their power over them, to abuse your power over them?
But we're hypocrites,
Yeah.
and that's a fact. Like I'm
Yeah.
not denying it. I think I'm very hypocritical about a lot of stuff, and
I know,
it's
but
okay.
I make the difference between animals and human beings.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
For that sense,
But
I think
like,
that
for
there is a
example,
difference.
I feel-
What is the difference?
It's a different species. I don't think.
So
we
there's not a difference. That's just a categorization.
Yeah, but then categories make differences. Yeah, it is.
Same as white versus non-white people, right? That's also categorization. Is that really a
But
difference?
it's not bad. Categorizing, like it can be good and good.
Well, it is bad when we discriminate based on these
Yeah,
categories, right?
discrimination, but categorization is not bad.
No, but the discrimination part is bad, right? Like I don't mind the calling species out or this kind of stuff, but when we say a certain species is okay to be exploited and slaughtered for us, is that not bad?
Yes, we're not denying that.
Yeah.
We agree.
So-
but I think we need to
So
go.
you agree
right?
verbally, but your actions say otherwise, don't
Yeah,
they?
that's why I already said we're hypocrites.
But do you think that's just something you can be apathetic towards? Do you think that acts of cruelty and violence just deserve a, oh, well, I'm a hypocrite, that's okay? Or
What
do you
else
think
can
they
I do?
deserve a real justification behind them?
I think me assuming that I'm a hypocrite is already a big step. And I'm saying, no, I'm really against it, but I go and eat a big steak, you know? So I think already a big step to recognize what we are, and with small steps, we will be able to actually help.
So let me put it this way. If I say that I
I
respect
think we
women,
need to go soon, though, because this is getting super long.
but if I say that I respect women and I go around beating women,
Yeah.
I'm a hypocrite, of course.
Yeah.
But I would need a good justification for me to continue doing so, right? When I acknowledge that I'm a hypocrite, because if I acknowledge that I'm a hypocrite and I acknowledge that what I'm doing is wrong, for me to continue doing it, I would need a good enough justification.
Why?
Otherwise, why?
It can just be.
Because otherwise I'm doing something that I consider wrong. We as humans, we as individuals are not going to do something that we consider it is wrong. We generally do things that we consider as right. We accidentally do things that are considered are wrong,
No, I
but we
think
don't
there's wrong in
intentionally
people.
do things that are wrong.
Although I do believe, like, they are, like, for example, murderers. They know that it's wrong, and they will do it anyway because it's their natural.
Are you a murderer?
What do you think? Are you a murderer?
Well, to the animals you are.
If you consider me one, then yes.
Well, no, the animals do.
What?
The
no,
animals,
because the
though.
animals have no self-reflection. So
But they have a
cannot
consciousness.
Yeah, but
So they
no,
can
because
see
if
you as
go through
an oppressor or as a murderer.
No, because if you go to the basic principle of philosophy and Aristotle's, if you cannot think and reflect for yourself, then you
But
cannot-
animals can think and reflect.
Can they perceive me as a human?
I'm not sure if
as
this is a
person?
debate or,
No, yeah. This is getting or just questioning.
Well,
But
I'm
we're
trying
not thinking-
I'm trying to understand what's
Yeah,
the
but we
moral
need to go with-
justification to continue being violent towards animals.
What is a social experiment?
Well, I don't even remember what I started with. I wanted to ask you something else, but like we reached this point, and I'm like, I just want to understand how can you morally justify this violence?
You cannot justify it.
You cannot justify
No,
it.
but we're saying
so then
that,
you
like-
shouldn't. You should stop doing it.
And for example, you should stop wearing all the clothes you're wearing because
Why?
you're exploiting people in other countries.
How do you
who are
know?
produced- Because I've witnessed it.
You witnessed
Yeah.
the people being exploited for my clothes.
Yeah, because for example,
Where's my jacket coming from?
the pigment that you're wearing,
Mhm.
it's being produced in other countries with people who are not as blessed as we are.
What about your clothes?
Same. But
Okay.
I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm like just assuming.
So does that morally justify adding
No, but
violence
it's
on top
the
of that?
same. It's the same.
So what you're saying is that I didn't have a choice whether to oppress or not oppress, as you said, certain individuals in the production of my clothes. If there are clothes that are as ethical as they can be, I will choose those. But you see, what I'm saying is the choices that you're making, you have choices where you can make ethical choices, yet you choose to not make ethical choices.
We're trying to get. Well, thank
We're
you.
done.
This was fun. Bye.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Yeah, so you're going to continue exploiting and being violent towards animals.
Yes. Yes. Bye.
Okay.
I don't know. Have a nice day.
I wish I could say the same, but you're just going to be violent towards animals, and I hope you don't have a nice day then. Well, it isn't fun for the animals that have their throats cut for you. Yeah, sure. If there's a different way, maybe you can apply it for yourself, so that you no longer are violent towards animals. Yeah, sure. I should be friendly towards murderers. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, everybody. It's one of those days. Buy you a small vegan snack. Thank you for your activism. If you make one person change to vegan, hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marcos. Yeah, I'm not gonna let these people with their bullshit, like apathetic pieces of views. Oh, you know what? I'm being violent towards animals. That's okay. Of course it's okay. Of course it's okay from your perspective. Is it okay from the perspective of the victim? Of course not. Let's see. Do you guys think we're gonna get somebody even worse or even better than this? Because we've only been getting, I feel like it's just going downstream now. What about the belt which is made out of leather? You shouldn't be having that, of course. Imagine being out there, shitty like that towards animals. Exactly. But you know what, Alexandra? I do have your folder, and for people like this, I will bring it up more often. Have you heard about WWF support the killing the polar bears for fur? Who cares about that? Does that morally justify you exploiting and slaughtering animals? And yes, I did hear about that. And I never agreed to WWF. I don't think their morals are on point. I don't think WWF loves animals or respects animals. I think they're just a shield for getting money from corporations or from people so that they can maintain an existence, while they say they save species, not individuals, not animals. If we are vegan, are they carnivores? Maybe they want to eat us. Yeah, exactly. What about plants? They are living as well. You eat them. What about them? Do you think animals are not fed more plants otherwise? Do you think that the animals that you eat, that you exploit, that you slaughter, that you cut the throat of, are not individuals who wanted to live, wanted to thrive, who didn't want to be killed? Do you think those individuals didn't eat more plants? They did. They ate way more plants than you would have otherwise eaten. So if you think we're causing harm to plants, again, existence will inherently involve some form of harm. But that shouldn't mean that we can just cause more harm, more exploitation, or be even shittier just because there's an element to our existence that involves some harm. Does it? Reducing animals' numbers saves plant lives. So if you care about saving plant lives, you should go vegan then. That's the only logical conclusion. Because as a vegan, you kill considerably less plants. I feel like the arguments in the chat are always kind of the same. Maybe I can put in like ChatGPT or a bot, some kind that would reply to all of these arguments, because they're all exactly the same. They all kind of have the same perspectives, the same things said to them. You know, they always say, oh, crop deaths, in nature, it happens in nature, and plant lives matter. They're all the same things. Huh? So maybe we should put a bot in that responds to all of these, because they really are the same things that we hear often. Huh? And these are not, as I explained before, if you have been here, these are not questions. These are not questions. These are not concerns. No, these are justifications. These are reasons for you to continue exploiting and slaughtering innocent animals. Yeah. Go argue with sharks and wolverines, coward, says Dr. Darkroom. You see? What kind of logical person would say, go argue with wolves? Please tell me. What kind of person would say, go speak and argue with wolves, right? Let's imagine this way. You come into a room, right? And there's this one person, and he killed that person. And you're like, oh my God, what did you do? Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Oh my God, you killed a person. Oh my God, what are you gonna do? Oh my God, what are we gonna do about it? But then this person is calm, collected, and says, are you gonna argue with sharks? Are you gonna tell sharks not to kill other sharks? No, of course not. I can of course kill other people because sharks do it too. Imagine using this kind of argumentation. We cannot. That doesn't make sense. But the fact that you are searching for explanations, the fact that you are trying to cope with it, just tells me that there is something within you that is telling you that it may not be the right thing to do, exploiting innocent animals. So maybe you would want to change. Somebody in the chat thinks killing innocent dogs is okay for food, even if they don't need that. Scam Chan, yeah, I get mad at people's choice. Yeah, if somebody chooses to exploit somebody else, I get mad. Yeah, if they have a choice to not do that, I get mad if they choose to exploit them. Yeah, I don't like that. I think we should be fair and kind. Huh? If we can, why shouldn't we be fair and kind? Why is it that if we presented with a choice to not exploit, that you think that we should choose otherwise? Do you think that's what a fair person would do? I'm actually curious, what do you think about ex-vegans? Why do they fail to be vegan? I'm sure you're maybe having discussions with them. That's a good question. You know, I think, so you can categorize it, right? First of all, let me just explain it. The fact that ex-vegans exist means absolutely nothing, right? There's people who go to the gym and then they quit the gym. The fact that there's a lot of people, in fact, I think there's more people who quit the gym than people who stick with the gym. That doesn't mean that going to the gym is bad for you in any way, right? So I just want to nip this in the bud from the start, right? The fact that other people choose to not be vegan anymore, well, that's an interesting question, you know, and I think it depends on everybody's motivation. I think a lot of people, when they go vegan, they don't actually go vegan, but rather they go plant-based. That's a huge cause, right? Like a lot of the social media influencers that you see online that they say they're no longer vegan weren't actually vegan in the first place, but rather they were just plant-based. They were people who just ate plants, who just did it for health, for the environment, or whatever other reasons. And of course, that's not necessarily a bad reason to do it, but it's like me, you know, if I take another injustice where I keep saying if I beat my wife, it's like me stopping from beating my wife because my fist hurts, you know. Of course, at some point my fist is going to stop hurting, and of course at any point in time, if I don't consider the beating of my wife as wrong, I will continue doing so, right? So yes, being vegan, it's a moral position where we reject animal exploitation. A lot of people who say they go vegan, they just mean the diet and they mean plant-based. So that's one of the reasons. There's of course the aspect of some people are having difficulty because they're surrounded by non-vegans, because they have friends who are non-vegans, and even if their morals, their values say otherwise, some people cave in. And yeah, I also think that's wrong personally. I think you should go to therapy if you cannot maintain your values and continue exploiting innocent animals or committing violence just because your friends do it. That's just how I see it, right? I think you need to value yourself enough that you trust your choices, that you trust your values, and that you don't just go back on your values on who you are as an individual. Because if you think inherently that it is wrong to exploit animals and you do it because your friends do it, then you aren't really respecting who you are as an individual, but rather you're putting your friends above yourself. And your friends also aren't respecting who you are as an individual if they choose to tempt you to make it more difficult for you. So no, that is also bad. Heard it here, Chip needs therapy. I actually am going to therapy. If you believe that therapy is something bad or something to be shameful for, then I think you need to grow up, because therapy is actually something that every human being on this planet should go through, you know? Everybody on this planet should go to therapy, because at every point in our life, at least one person on this planet needed a therapist. It's like a doctor for the mind. That's what they are. It's like, imagine, say, living your whole life and saying, well, I've never been to a doctor. Sure. I've never needed a doctor. Sure. We all need a doctor from time to time, just like we all need a doctor for the mind from time to time, you know? Our mind, we control our mind kind of just as much as our mind controls us. So we need to learn how to navigate with it. We're never taught about how to deal with emotions. We're taught that we live in a society where negative, when I say negative, I do mean quotation, because there's no such thing as negative emotions. But negative emotions are taught as, oh no, steer them away. Why is that person crying? You should make them stop crying. No, you should leave them alone to cry. They need to feel what they want to feel. It's okay. You know, I grew up in Romania, and whenever somebody cried, the instinct of every adult over there was, oh, make them stop. Why is the child crying? They have to stop crying. It's making me uncomfortable that this person isn't as happy. You know what? How about you sit with your own emotions and let those individuals be with their own emotions? How about that? How about we're mature about it? Yeah. And I learned that through therapy. So yeah, you might need therapy if you don't understand what I'm saying. Tears calm down the brain. It's a good way of putting it, yeah. I was left to cry in the school halls as a kid, says Linda. Oh, I'm sorry for that, Linda. I wish I was left alone to cry, to be honest. I don't think it's good to be left if you need somebody to talk to. That's also not good. But it's also not good if you need to cry and somebody won't let you express your emotions. So yeah. You leaving them to cry, those children will grow up feeling abandoned. No, they won't. You can tell those children, hey, I know you might be feeling bad, and I'm sorry that you're feeling this way. I still love you, and I'm here by your side. It's as easy as that. That's what you need to do. You need to acknowledge that you still love them, that you're here for them, and you can let them feel whatever they want to feel. It's okay to cry. Hey, cry if you want to cry. Just be aware that I still love you regardless of how you're feeling. That's called unconditional love. That's what we need to give to people. That's how we should raise children. I can't believe that I have to teach everything. I can't believe that I have to justify therapy nowadays. Wow.
I really want to try the teppanyaki.
Linda says you're a teacher now. Yeah, Linda. Actually, you know what? My dream occupation was being a teacher. That's what I always wanted to be, a teacher. Just wanted to teach kids math. I honestly really like math, and I thought, you know what? I think I can show you a logical way that you may understand and see the beauty in math. But it's so shittily paid that it's not worth it. And I also happen to have to leave the country and stuff, so yeah. And everyone, if you're here, if you're new here, I appreciate you being here. It's okay. We have streams when we're a little bit more energetic, everything is flowing. Then we have streams where we're a little bit less energetic. And as I said just now, it's okay to feel how we want to feel. It's okay to be who we want to be. Okay? And I appreciate you for being here. And I hope you really do get to question the things that you've been taught. I hope you really do get to question whether it is actually okay to exploit and slaughter innocent animals. You need to question that. It's not really okay. I personally believe that it's not okay. And if you are enjoying all these conversations, all the conversations I have with people, what I'm preaching right now, because I do seem to preach a lot, then hit that subscribe, you know? Subscribe to the channel. Be a member. Be part of the beautiful community that we have here. Amazing community. I'm just I feel like, you know, there's days when I feel a little bit like, I don't know, down. And when I open and I see the community comments and I see how people interact with each other and just, I don't know, I feel like the community that was built here is so nice. And I know I have part of it, but you guys also have part of it. You build a community, you made it nice. So I appreciate all of you guys for being here and for being part of my beautiful community. Now let's get some people, right? Do you think ex-vegan is an oxymoron? I don't know if it's an oxymoron. I think there can be people who actually, and in essence, it could be theoretically an oxymoron, right? Because when you're vegan, you could say that there is a clause that says as much as it's possible and practicable. So in that sense, maybe you find a way that it's no longer possible or practicable for you to consume animal products and to not consume animal products, and then you consume one or two or something. I don't know. I far be it from to see the situation, because you have to be intellectually honest and you have to be honest with all of this. But yeah, in theory, it could be. You want to try a social experiment?
What are we talking about?
Just asking you some questions, that's it.
Yeah.
You want to try it or? No?
We good.
Are you afraid of talking about oppression or why? You saw the oppression sign and ran away. Jesus Christ. People are afraid of being confronted, huh? Of course, Lewis is allowed to spam there. Of course. Lewis is an amazing member of this community. Lewis is a friend. He's a vegan. And he's spamming for the purpose of why we are doing this. He's not spamming to get you annoyed or to something, to make a point. He's just saying, literally, that animals should not be exploited. Ali says, don't spam pro-animal exploitation crap. Exactly. Thank you, Ali. You guys want to try a social experiment? If you ask me questions, I may not see them, by the way. I only see like 4 or 5 questions. So if you ask me questions, please continue asking them or ask them again and tag me in them, and then I see them. Is there a vegan school anywhere? Maybe you can be the first vegan teacher in the world. Oh, that would be cool. There's no vegan school. It's sadly, you know, it's what? It's 1% of population. It's a very small percentage of people are vegan. There's very few people who actually want to make that change, because a lot of people can. It's kind of sad to see that the people who have the most possibilities to be able to make the changes are usually the people who don't want to make the changes. I've noticed more and more as I do this outreach that people who are rife with privilege, people who have been born and are in situations where they can easily choose otherwise, are usually the people who don't want to easily choose otherwise. Sadly. You guys want to try a social experiment?
Because for like primary school and like that.
Hey, Nick Branduk, thank you for being here. Hey, Keisha, nice to see you here. Been a while. People with choice have a choice is basically what you've just said there. No, what I said there is that the people with privilege are usually the people who have the easiest choice and they can easily go vegan, and those are usually the people who don't want to go vegan, whereas people who don't have the privilege, who have a little bit more difficulty, people who have experienced oppression, who have been on the other side of it, are usually the people who usually want to go vegan, or even if it's more difficult. That was my point. And yes, privileged people use less privileged people as an excuse to not do something. 100% true. That's also true. Yeah. Is this in Amsterdam? Yes, it is in Amsterdam. My comment get deleted because you known I'm right. I don't know what you're talking about. You can again say it again. Be aware that YouTube also deletes comments. I don't know why. I don't know how. You can ask again if you want, and I'll respond if I'm there. What is privileged to you? Well, privileged is pretty easy. Privilege to me is somebody, again, who has the possibility, who has the financial mean, who lives in a place where choices for them are easy to be made differently. Privilege, somebody who was born with an unfair advantage over others. I can't forward it, it gets deleted, so it says Rob. Rob, I'm sorry, I can't help you if it gets deleted. Try to replace some of the words. Are you using bad words? I don't know what to tell you, man. YouTube is very restrictive on words, you know, that's what they do. Actually, every platform is in one way or another, right? Like, I think like on TikTok, if you say certain words, you get banned. On YouTube, if you type certain words, they delete your comment. I don't know. Even my comments get deleted sometimes. How can something someone is born with be characterized as unfair? I don't understand that question. You need to rephrase it in a better way. Rob says, I knew about censorship. Okay. Complain to YouTube, what can I tell you? "5 years ago," says Rob. How can you be born in an unfair situation? It's a good question. Well, you can be born in a way that society doesn't like it, that you're born that way, right? If you're born a different species than human, you might suffer immense exploitation. Our human society deems you as inferior if you're not born human. So there's one example. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Hey Peg, nice to see you here. Is it really a good enough justification to say sometimes things happen for a reason? Is that a good enough justification for us to commit cruelty, violence, exploitation? Because we can say things happen for a reason? Okay, let's try to get some people. I'll focus on getting some conversations here. You want to try a social experiment? Hey Nick, nice to see you here. Okay, I have like 30 minutes left. Come on, let's get some conversations rolling. I understand people are born into different situations. I don't think that means it's unfair. Well, the unfairness doesn't come from them being born in different situations. The unfairness comes from societies treating them differently for being born in different situations. The unfairness doesn't come from the act of them being born somewhere else, but rather from the fact that somebody judges them or deems them as different enough, or they have to behave differently because they were born in a different situation. Like, take for instance what's happening in US right now. If you weren't born in US, you were born in a southern country, and you are in a threat of, you are in a dangerous situation, your family is I don't know, potentially going to suffer violence from, I don't know, whatever is happening, because there's situations in Central America and South America that are not always nice. And everywhere else in the world, for that matter. I just think a little bit more there, let's say. And if you are in a situation where you or your family's life is in danger, and you try to seek political, well, not even political, but you try to seek asylum in US, where it's a country where you would theoretically should feel safe, you are not allowed to do that, because they see you as illegal. That's such a weird word to put, such a weird quality to put on a person. You are illegal. As in, my law says you shouldn't exist here. That's such a weird thing to call them. Like, these are people who flee, you know, danger, persecution, all kinds of things. They're not there to make your country whatever you want it. They're there to make a better life for themselves. Just like you would. Just like any of us would. That's the reality. If any of us were born in a situation, or we found ourselves in a situation where our life would potentially, or our family's life would be potentially in danger in a certain situation, we would move. We would run. We would fight, right? What else could you do? If you cannot fight because they would have power over you, then you try to run. You try to go somewhere else. What if there would nowhere else to go, because the only place where you could go and feel safe, they say that you're not worthy, that you're illegal, your existence should not be lawful. It's kind of sad, huh? It's kind of sad. It really does. This really saddens me, this view of immigrants. It's such an insane view. Immigrants are people. We're people. Like, it's insane. And that's also why I think that me speaking about veganism, me speaking about how we treat animals, literally shows the mentality that we have over all of them, because that's why we see them. We deem somebody as inferior, and then we get to do whatever we want to them. We get to diminish their sheer existence, their sheer individuality, just because we deem them as inferior. That's what we do to animals. That's what we do to immigrants. And that's what nowadays we're doing more and more to other types of people also. If you're not part of my group, the group that is 90% of this country, then perhaps you should be taken to a camp, you know? That's what the US is doing right now, isn't it? Sad. Sad and insane. Saddens me. And scares me at the same time, because I clearly am not part, like, yeah, I'm a white male, so theoretically I am part of that whole establishment thing, but practically I'm a vegan. I challenge the status quo. I try to get people to think for themselves. I'm not somebody who societies or authoritarians or any of these individuals want to have. You know, you want a nice, docile population, keep them in control. You don't want somebody like myself who tries to get people to think for themselves. So yeah. My main goal right now is to live in Sweden with my partner and leave this country, then off to Iceland, says Moonrise Studios. That's interesting. Hey, you want to try a social experiment? Okay, let's focus on some people. Is morality objective? No, it is not. Oh, you always come and ask the same question. It is not objective. Rob, you're welcome to contact me. I see that you have a problem with everything that I'm saying, and you seem to want to debate me. You're welcome to contact me on Instagram, and we can set up a debate. I have no issue. You want to try a social experiment? Love it.
Hello.
Hi, are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Of course, yeah.
Can you come a little bit closer so that you're in view?
Hi.
Hey, what's your name?
Juliet.
Juliet. Where are you from?
Cincinnati, Ohio, the U.S.
Oh, love it, love it. I'm Chip. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What brings you to Amsterdam, by the way?
I was here like 2 years ago, and I had a lot of fun because I really like the architecture, and the people are super nice. So yeah, I just wanted to come back.
Love it, love it. How do you feel about animals? Juliet, you said, right?
Yeah. I like animals a lot. I'm really into like reptiles. I have an African dwarf frog at home, a dog, and 2 fish. So, I really like them.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, do you think that behind the eyes of these animals there's a somebody?
Like a spirit type of thing?
I mean, like there's a somebody like, you have a subjective. Do you know what a subjective experience is?
Not exactly, no.
No. So the way you experience the world, where you go around, you interact with the world, you form opinions, you form thoughts based on what you see, and you have emotions based on what you see. Do you think animals have the same?
I assume they have the same, like, I would at least assume so in like mammals, or
Yeah.
at least like how like gorillas are more advanced than, like dogs.
Yeah.
I assume at least they probably have something like that, or at least something similar.
Yeah, like consciousness, right?
Yeah, consciousness.
Yeah. So actually, all animals have it. Well, all the animals that you mentioned, including fish, they also have consciousness, right? Do you think it would be wrong to harm them because of their consciousness?
Because of their consciousness?
Yeah, because they
What
would.
do you mean?
In that sense, because so for example, if I was to harm a computer, right? It wouldn't necessarily be wrong or even considered harm because that computer wouldn't feel me harming them. Whereas if I harm an animal, they would feel me harming them. So that's why it's wrong, right? Because of their capability to feel and experience that harm being done onto them.
Yeah,
So do you think that it would be wrong to do this to them, to harm them?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then do you think that harming animals for something we don't need would be wrong?
Yeah, but if it's like a food thing, I
Yeah.
do kind of like understand it. If this is like a vegan thing, I think it's understandable why we would harm animals for that because it's like in our nature to harm animals in that way.
So if it's in our nature to harm other humans, should we also think it's okay to harm humans?
No.
Because it is in our nature to have wars and to be violent and to do these kind of things,
I
right?
think over time we've evolved so that we don't harm other humans. I think that's why.
Well, we set up
like,
rules. We didn't really evolve.
I think we've evolved like slightly. Like if you were to like try and like break a finger, I'm sure you couldn't do it, even though I've seen like experiments where they're like only as thick as like a carrot is. So you could break someone's finger. Your consciousness just doesn't let you because we've evolved that way.
Not to yourself, but to somebody else you can, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's why they still fight in wars, right? That's why there's still wars. They still kill each other, and people still get killed because we can still do it, right?
I understand where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but I just think that it was never common for us to like eat each other. Like in all of human history, I don't think it was ever like a common thing.
But does that matter? Like, my question is, do you think it's right to exploit animals, to use them
I don't think it's-
as resources? Because
I think you agree that it's probably not right.
It's not right, but
so if we can choose otherwise, like if we have other choices, because maybe in the past we didn't have other choices, but nowadays we do have other choices,
if
right?
we had other choices that tasted as good, yes.
I think you'll think about it, right?
I'll
Julie?
think about it.
But do you
yeah.
think that taste, like a pleasure, the sensory pleasure that we get taste from it, which is like 10 minutes of taste pleasure, really justifies erasing an entire existence of an innocent animal?
It doesn't, but I mean,
It's a good thought. No, I think it's good for you to think about, right, Juliet?
yeah, I think it's a good thing to think about.
Yeah, it's good to think about, and it's not just good to think about because if I, for example, if I was to be born 200 years ago, right, there were still reminiscences of slavery around the world, right?
Especially
and
in America.
Especially in America, exactly, right? So it could have been possible that I may have had a slave, but then does that mean it was right to have a slave? It doesn't.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Right.
They're working on lab-grown meats right now, so it could be soon.
Yeah, so then what I'm trying to say from this is that my point with this is that just because we're born in a place, in a society, and somebody told us that it's okay to do this to these animals doesn't necessarily mean that it is okay. And we definitely should question it. And questioning is only one part of it, because to those animals, if we think that what we do to them is wrong, means nothing if we continue doing it,
Question
doesn't
it
it?
and take action.
Exactly.
All
Questioning
right,
and
come on,
take action.
baby. Thank
Let
you
me
so
just give you a card before you go, okay? Okay, so you have I just watch the most important speech you'll ever hear. It's okay to watch
We
with kids.
appreciate
okay,
you.
also.
How-
Okay?
Good job.
Okay, thank you. Have a good one. Her mom was really trying to take her away. Can anyone actually give me a good reason of why not to hunt? Hello, it's pretty simple. It's the same thing. Why would you take the life of an innocent animal when you can choose to go to a supermarket and buy something else? Just saying. Why would you choose to use a weapon to use your unfair advantage over them when you can go to a supermarket and buy plant-based products? Why? Why would you You know, even in hunting, by the way, this whole thing, this whole myth of hunting being fast or not cruel to the animals, that's so not true. Talk to a hunter. If you've ever hunted, I've talked to several hunters. Talk to a hunter and they'll tell you, hunting is fucking cruel. A lot of the times you will not kill the animal from the first shot. A lot of the times you will wound them. That's why you have dogs to find the animals that are wounded. A lot of the times the animals will be in pain for a long time. Sometimes they go away and you just basically create pain for an animal. And a lot of the times you just end up finding an animal that's in immense pain and you have to kill them because you've created this immense pain for them. And all of this when you could have easily just gone to a supermarket. To me, it's a non-answer. It's like, why would I ever go through that? Why would I ever have to go through that emotional toll of, you know, when I see a deer, I don't think, oh my God, I really want to kill this one. I think, oh my God, such a cute animal. I want to pet you. I want to, you know, I want to know what your life is like. I can't really speak to them. But definitely not the first thing that comes to my mind is, oh, I really want to use a rifle right now, injure you as much as I can, and then track your blood so that I can kill you in the end and eat some parts of it, some parts of you, and a large portion of you put in my freezer only to never touch again because I don't really am not that much into your meat. I just really like it for sport. Something being natural, I see George saying, well, it's natural for humans to use tools. Something being natural doesn't make it also moral, does it? What do you think about lab-grown meat? I don't have an opinion on it. I think that if lab-grown meat won't exploit animals, because right now, as far as I know, there is a pretty gray aspect to it. Well, it's pretty, not gray, it's pretty black actually, because they use, I forgot the name of the serum. FBS, right? Feline bovine serum, something like that. It's not really that good, right? So animal exploitation, it doesn't, like I don't care. Like, again, being vegan is a position against animal exploitation. If you still exploit animals in a different way and get the same product, we don't really care. It's still a position against animal exploitation. That's it. What do you think about pork-based buildings? What I think about killing innocent pigs to create buildings? What do you think about killing humans and creating houses from their corpses? What kind of question is that? Is that even... Wow. And by the way, everybody, Jonathan, shout out to you for being the first person to comment on the last stream. You want to try a social experiment? Jonas and Draculum, it was impressive to me because you were literally 1 second apart when you gave that comment. 1 second apart. That's insane. The Sundog asks, do you argue with dog food companies? You know, the reason why I don't argue with companies these days is because what the hell are companies going to do if you guys keep paying them? Huh? What are, like, wait, if somebody pays, well, I personally have some form of values in my life, and even if somebody were to pay me to do things that go against my values, I probably wouldn't do it. But if you keep paying, these companies are not individuals, they're entities. If you keep whose sole purpose is to make profits, so if you keep paying them to make profits out of exploiting innocent animals, they will keep exploiting innocent animals. So I would say maybe stop paying them first, and then we can address the problem with companies. Huh? How about that? How about we do this? Let's reach 5% of population are vegan, and then I promise you, we'll start going for companies way more than for individuals. Huh? How about we do that? We got a promise here in the chat. You guys watching this, are you gonna go vegan so that we can, you know, go after the companies? Or are you gonna keep paying the companies to be against us? Please convince me plant is better. Sure. When you kill a plant, You're not exploiting an innocent sentient being. Do you need more? But isn't it alive? Plants, sure, but plants don't have a subjective experience, do they? Plants don't actually go through life experiencing one thing or the other. Plants don't see, don't smell, don't feel. They don't have a brain, a central nervous system. I know some of you want to say, well, plants feel. What do you mean plants feel? They don't. All of this thing of plants feeling, you've been duped by media. You haven't read the studies. You haven't read any of it. If you think plants scream, no, that's called cavitation. It's just air bubbles forming under their skin. Well, skin, because it's not really called skin, but it's air bubbles being formed and then them being released. And that makes a noise. Just like when you release the air out of a balloon, it makes a noise. What else? Plants communicating. Yes, plants communicate. Of course they do. They're, they share nutrients. Of course they do that. They're extremely intelligent, what do you call them, automatrons. That doesn't mean that they make decisions. It doesn't mean that they have subjective experiences with the world. It doesn't mean they feel trauma. Do plants feel trauma? No, they don't. Plants feel like, if plants ever feel like there's just this chemical thing, there isn't a brain who generates these chemicals because they have that experience, right? Like there's dogs who have anxiety. There's animals who have anxiety strictly by watching certain things that they didn't like, by being in situations that made them feel unsafe. Do you think a plant would ever do that? Come on, be honest with yourself. Stop it with this. Do you think mowing the lawn is the same as cutting the throat of a dog? Really? I'm sorry. Do you think cutting one piece of grass, one single grass thing, I don't know how to call it, do you think that is the same as cutting the throat of a dog? No, it's not. Plants don't make decisions. They don't learn from decisions. Dude. And I don't know, I understand, I don't think any of us are sitting here saying, oh yeah, shit on plants. No. In fact, being vegan would still mean that you would be killing considerably less plants. Would still mean that in the end, even if you do respect plants, you would be killing considerably less. You would be being on that side of non-violence towards animals, and you would be killing less plants. And you are taking one step towards killing no plants, if that's ever the case, right? How can we ever get to a society where we create a better food system, one that doesn't exploit innocent animals, one that doesn't kill plants? Hell, if that's your problem. When you are paying for animals to be exploited, plants killed for them, forests deforested, all the water being used for them, this highly inefficient process, these innocent individuals being slaughtered and exploited, how can we ever improve on this when we're still doing this? Come on, we gotta think a little bit. But still not convincing enough to change a lifestyle. I feel sorry for you, Neo, if that's not convincing you enough. If all of the reasons are not convincing you enough, why? Because the reason that's convincing you to continue doing it is what? You enjoy it? Imagine that. There's vegan dog and cat food now, exactly. Our companions can align with our morals as long as they are under our roofs and be healthy as well. 100% well put, that gay vegan. And not just that, there's actually studies showing that the vegan dog food and cat food is actually healthier. And you know why? Because aside from the animal-based counterparts, when they make the animal-based food for pets, they just throw in there the reminiscence of what we don't eat as humans. And then they think, well, that's enough. Let's add some vitamins here and there, and that's it. But with plants, it's better formulated. They actually look into it because, they are careful. They have much more at stake. Okay, let's get some conversations. I've been speaking to the chat a lot. I haven't had any conversations in a while. No, the studies have not been done by the same people pushing it.
como un señor, viste como un señor mayor.
And my sister's a veterinarian. What are we even talking about? Even my sister is not even vegan, by the way. She's a veterinarian, and she knows that dogs and cats can be vegan. What are you talking about? Are you just gonna go against the whole scientific consensus because it suits your worldview? What do you think of professional dog breeders?
Hello.
Hi. You guys want to try the social experiment?
Yeah.
Are you okay being live for my YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's okay.
Can you guys come closer that you're in view?
Yeah.
What are your names?
Nathan.
Nathan?
Louis.
Where are you guys from?
Paris.
Paris, okay. Okay, love it. Love it. Okay, so I'll ask you this. Should the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
No.
No.
Of course not.
Do you guys know who Superman is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So should Superman have the right to exploit a human being?
Of course not.
But he could theoretically do it, right? If he
Yeah,
wanted to. Yeah.
I mean,
Do you think it would be fair for Superman to exploit a human being if he gets some pleasure from it?
No.
No. And
Est-ce que tu penses que ce serait juste que Superman oppresse des gens plus faibles que lui?
no. What if because Superman is so strong and so fast, he could do it in a way that you don't realize that they're oppressed?
Yeah, I know where you're going. Of course not.
It would still be wrong, right?
Yeah, it's not moral.
Okay. So what if Superman is part of a group and they've been doing it for so long that it's their tradition, their, you know?
What group is this?
I don't know, the League of Legends. I don't know. the
League of Legends.
Oh, that's a game. Sorry, no. I think Superman was part of the Justice League, right? They're
Okay.
yeah. So their league does this. They exploit 100 human beings every year. Would that be okay?
No, of course.
It's just 100, by the way, not the whole population. Just 100
No, of course.
each.
Of course, it would be wrong.
It would be wrong.
It would be
Okay. Okay. So then let me turn it back to you. If it's wrong for Superman to exploit humans, wouldn't it be wrong for humans to exploit animals for the same reason?
I don't think that would be fair for humans to exploit animals.
On peut faire un petit
actually.
récap,
Donc en gros, est-ce que tu trouverais ça juste que la Justice League, un groupe de super-héros, oppresse des gens plus faibles qu'eux?
Ok.
Et du coup, est-ce que tu trouves ça normal que pour les humains puissent exploiter les animaux? Yeah, of course, I'm against the zoos, personally.
Oh, why are you against this?
Because their treatment is not right. Most of the time, they have not enough space. Comment on dit hygiène?
So what if they're treated nicely and given space? Are you still against that?
You mean the moral principle of them being an attraction for people? It's maybe it would be wrong morally, I think, but still, I think it's better when they're treated right.
No, of course. But if you had to choose between them not being in a cage, and you could get your entertainment from other sources. Sorry, if you had to choose between them being in a cage and you could get your entertainment from watching them in cages, or them being free and you getting your entertainment from other places, what would you choose?
Yeah, of course. In a perfect world, I would like not them being used for anything, but eventually for nutrition.
J'aurais été motivé, mon gars, mais...
Why is that different? Why is it for nutrition different? Because you can also choose other things, right? You don't have to choose innocent animals to go to.
Of course, but still, I think it's a choice of. It's a freedom to eat meat because we're meant that way. So.
Should we be free to eat other humans?
No, I don't think it's the same thing.
Why not? There's still a victim involved. What's the difference between a human victim and a non-human victim?
Our obvious differences of interactions between animals and people, I think.
So because we cannot interact with them, that means we can exploit them for something that we don't need?
I mean, I'm not for it, but...
But you pay for it. So you are for it.
Well, I would like other alternative. If there was any better alternative, I think I'll do it. But right now, I'm not.
But you can have plants and plant-based products, right?
Yeah, but it's you have to inform yourself. You have to make choices that are sometimes more expensive.
What if all of that was not an issue? If you could get to be within your budget, within your nutrition.
And with good taste, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it, obviously.
Okay.
But right now, it's a pain. So.
What do you mean with good taste? What does that mean to you?
That's most of.
But you enjoy it, right?
Most of. What do I enjoy?
The food.
Yeah.
Good taste means enjoyment, right? It doesn't mean necessarily the same taste.
Can you ask again, please?
So does good taste to you mean the same taste, or does it mean enjoyment of it?
It means not the same taste. Enjoyment, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So do you think you can enjoy your life, enjoy your food, get nutrition without explaining animals?
Yeah, I think if I was perfect, yes, but I know I have some failures.
What would you call a person that does that?
No, I would not call him a murderer, but.
No. What do you call a person who doesn't exploit animals for any reason?
Oh, someone really responsible and with altruism.
Have you heard of vegans?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what a vegan is. They just don't exploit animals.
Yeah, go vegans.
Yeah.
But.
So why don't you go vegan?
Because I'm not strong enough. I like meat, and I know I have some. No. I could be morally better and do it, but I'm not decided yet.
Do you think that violence is justified because you don't want to do it?
Oh, it's a huge file.
Yeah.
I think we'll go to the museum if you.
Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
Enfin comprendre la conversation.
Do you think this is justified?
I don't want to see that, of course, because.
This is what you're paying for. Huh?
I hope most of them are not killed like this.
Most of them are killed like this.
But
assume que tu manges de la viande.
Ouais.
Oui,
j'assume, mais c'est
Oh,
yeah. It's pretty shocking.
It's pretty shocking, huh?
Yeah.
Do you really want to be part of this?
I want them, of course, to be treated better. I mean, if they are.
But do you see? Maybe all of these animals were treated good throughout their life, but this is how they end up.
J'aime pas du tout, c'est super
At a quarter of their lifespan. Do you think it's okay?
Tu crois que c'est ok, mec?
Well, I don't know how it should be done actually.
Well, it shouldn't be done, in my opinion.
Well, you won't ask an animal to eat another animal if it's in his diet, in its natural diet.
But I won't ask an animal to not rape another animal, but I will ask a human to not rape another human.
Yeah.
So I don't have the same expectations of animals as I do of humans. I expect you to act morally within your values. Your values say that this is fucked up. You say it's striking, it's bad. But this is what you pay for. If it's so bad, it's so striking that it's hard to watch, why not just not pay for it?
Yeah, that's a solid argument. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree.
So why not choose otherwise? How many more animals should be exploited until you make change? How many animals should go through this for you before you change?
I'm not sure. I know this is wrong in some ways. Listen, I will move. Thank you for.
Let me just give you a card before you go, okay? Watch the minion. Can you promise me to watch the minion?
Yeah.
You just gotta scan that QR code, okay?
Okay. Don't use AI, please.
Why not? Wait, why not?
No, I was just kidding.
Ah, okay. Okay. 'Cause, I was ready for that also. No. Okay.
Have a nice one.
Yeah. Well, while you're in Amsterdam, I strongly recommend you guys try the vegan restaurants because they're absolutely monumentally better than other restaurants.
Okay, we'll
They're
check.
not tourist traps, so at least you're getting that.
Okay, we'll check
Okay.
on that.
Cheers. Yeah, everybody, I think we have to end it here. If somebody comes and talks to us meanwhile, we'll have a conversation with them, but I think that's it. Today wasn't the best days to do outreach, huh? We had a lot of, we had some conversations. None of them were that good, huh? Hey, Anna is here. Nice to see you, Anna. What's up, beautiful vegan? Say, Anna. Hey. Alexandra says you did great. Thank you, Alexandra. Yeah, I'm also a bit tired, from this. Sometimes I'm just so tired of hearing people's excuses. I'm just like, I really do wish that you could speak to a person who you tell, hey, this is fucked up what we're doing, right? And they would say, yeah, it is. And I would say, well, you know what? You're paying for it. Then don't you think you should stop? Yeah, you're right. I should stop. Can you help me stop? And I explain and help them stop. It's kind of insane that we have to go through explanations and things and always the same thing, always. Because they're animals, somehow they deserve everything to be all the worst things in the world. Because they weren't born like us. Because you know what? Just because they were born a different species, because you know what, they weren't even born a different species. That's the fucked up thing about it. We bred them into this existence. We bring them into this existence only to make them suffer, to exploit them and kill them. That's what we do to them. If you really think this is okay, I feel sorry for you. I'm just gonna stay with the sign a little bit that says if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal exploitation. Just gonna sit with the sign a little bit, get the message across. Let's see. How am I exploiting chickens by saving their DNA? If you're paying for chickens to be exploited and slaughtered, you are paying for chickens to be exploited and slaughtered. It's pretty simple. You see, this is what I mean. This whole thing, this whole trying to explain it, trying to like, you know, let me just tell you right here, you don't need to explain it. You don't need to come and tell me, well, this is why. I don't care why you do it. I don't care. I just don't care why you guys choose to exploit animals. I couldn't care less. What I care about is you changing, is you no longer exploiting animals. That's all I care. I don't care why you did it. We all had our reasons. I just care if you actually think a little bit for yourself, that you actually think, hey, maybe this immense violence towards animals is not okay. You know, maybe using animals, treating them as resources, treating them as objects, maybe that's not okay. You should think a little bit, huh? Like, look at this. Look at this shit. This is what we pay for. This is when you buy animal products. This is what you buy. This. Right here. I'm gonna hold both of them so that everybody sees them. If you're not vegan, this is what you're supporting. Yeah, see? Like, look at these people. Somebody says they've seen worse. So, so you acknowledge that it is bad, but you've seen worse. So if you acknowledge that this is bad, why continue doing it? This is what you pay for if you're not vegan. You're vegan? Amazing. I love you. Awesome. Awesome. There you go. See, that's beautiful. When we find vegan people, it's amazing. I'm actually gonna sit this one on the ground. This one like this. I don't know how to put it. Some people stop by, they look at the images, they look at the sign. Let's just do this a little bit, right? You don't have to speak to anybody. You know what I'm gonna do, everybody? I'm gonna be taking the microphone off. Bear with me for a second. Can you guys hear me okay? I took the microphone off. And now I'm just sitting like this with the sign and with the image At least let's remind people, a lot of people are passing by. Let's remind them that what we're doing is not okay. Let's remind them that we need to stop paying for this. Maybe some people will look into it. Who knows? This is what we're showing. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here. You know, it's you know, the sad reality is we gotta show this violence. I'm learning more and more that people will never learn unless they actually see it. This thing of animal agriculture continuously hiding it from us, just trying their best to keep it hidden, this just won't work anymore. And by the way, everybody, my battery is shit. Let me see if I can fix that before. Oop.
Well done. Oh, good. Yeah. Good luck with your. If you have a channel or something.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Don't post me on that, okay?
You've been live already.
I will find you.
You were live already, yeah.
Oh, I was live.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, because you said the most
I don't wanna be
ridiculous
on.
thing.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's not all right for
It
them.
was a cynical comment. So.
But it's not all right for them, you know. Like I don't know if you were actually trolling or being honest, but
No, the
but
thing is, I was comparing how bad we think about humans being hurt and that animals, nobody cares. So that's the thing.
but
So
we
I
should
reversed
care.
the story and said,
Yeah.
I could do that to you, you know?
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
should
how do you
care.
think about that?
We
You
shouldn't
should
we shouldn't
care.
say I could do that to you. We should say I shouldn't do that to them. We shouldn't say we do this to animals, I could do that to a human. We
No,
should
that's
say
not good.
I should not do it to an animal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Good
Yeah.
luck with that.
Let me give you a card before you go. You know? You want a card with some research? Okay. This woman scares me, man. This woman this is the woman who stopped by and said that killing humans is okay. She scares me. I swear to God, she scares me a little bit. This is the nice thing to do from time to time. You see, that group that just passed by already read the sign and started speaking about being vegan. That's what's good, I guess. Just hell. I think I will do outreach at some point where I just have a screen and show the practices that animals go through, like AV does, but say absolutely nothing. Maybe just have conversations with people in the chat. There's a lot of people who look away. They read the sign and then they look away. Oh, brother, somebody again with the plants. What is it, guys? What is it with plants? What is it that you have with plants? Even if you do love plants, you know it's morally preferable to not exploit animals, because when you exploit animals, you are literally doing the same thing to plants. You are killing, exploiting whatever you want, whatever you think is bad to do to plants. You are doing it monumentally more when you consume animal products, because that animal was fed more plants than you would have otherwise eaten. So even if you think plants have a consciousness, let's not debate whether plants have a consciousness or not. I don't believe they do. But let's say you do believe that they do. Then you should still choose to be vegan, because you will be killing less plants in that process. So if you think they have a conscious,
Dat ik met jou de diamant heb.
okay, we're going to be sitting here for another couple of minutes, everybody, because my hands are, the grip isn't very good on Alexandra's folder. Alexandra, you need to put a handle. Alexandra, you need to put a handle if you're still here. Remember to put a handle from now on in this. And everybody, if you've enjoyed the stream, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We had a little bit of a down stream. That's okay. We didn't have the best conversations. We didn't have the best people. That's okay. We keep doing it. And that's something you need to learn, everybody. When something is not fair, when there's an injustice happening, there will always be people fighting against that injustice. And this is who we are. We are people who fight against this injustice. Please don't be that person who we have to fight against. Please be the person who does the bare minimum and doesn't fight against this. Please don't be the person who supports this injustice. Please be a decent person. Be a person who respects animals. Be a person who leaves them alone. Be a person, go vegan for crying out loud. There's no logical reason to not be vegan.
En beschermd.
Oh brother, we don't care about eating meat. Oh brother, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know if you're new here or not, but we really don't care what you eat or what you do, okay? Nobody cares. Believe it or not, we're not here to fight you about what it is that you care, what you eat, it is that you eat or do. We just care about the innocent animals that are exploited and slaughtered when you make certain choices. We're here to tell you, please don't make those choices. We know it is within your legal right to make these choices. We know it is within your capabilities to make these choices. We know that it might even be more convenient. You might even get more taste pleasure out of making these choices. But when you make these choices, innocent sentient beings, innocent animals are exploited and slaughtered on your behalf. So please stop making these choices. Eat plant-based meat if you care about that. Can you please show a little bit of compassion and fairness towards the most defenseless, the most disregarded individuals? We disregard them so much that we think it's okay to breed them to life only to exploit and slaughter them. We take their whole existence, that we bring them to existence, we slaughter them, and all of it for a fucking sandwich. That is insanely cruel. That is insanely cruel. Something that within what, 10 minutes, within 10 minutes, within 10 days, you will forget about. Something that will have zero impact on yourself. This is what it is that you're supporting when you're buying animal products. This. This is what you're supporting. Yeah, lions don't have a conscience, do they? Lions don't know right from wrong, do they? You do. People will always find reasons to continue doing what they want to do. people will continuously find ways to be violent, I guess. I don't know. And that's also the thing. If you don't consider yourself a violent person, then why the hell would you pay for violent things to happen, huh? Why would you pay for this? Look at this. Look. Look. This is violent. Why would you pay for this? I just don't see it, you know. I just don't understand. Like, I feel like sometimes I feel powerless in the face of these people, these individuals who I have conversations with. Sometimes I feel powerless because no matter how I put it, no matter what perspective I take, no matter if I take oppression, human oppression to human oppression, other species oppression like Superman oppressing, no matter how I put it, no matter what animals, when it comes to these farm animals, when it comes to what we do to these animals for products that are optional to us, we seem to turn a blind eye and say, fuck it, it's okay. We seem to come up with the ridiculous justifications. We seem to become defensive and do whatever we can to want to continue justifying this violence. You agree? We cannot continue justifying violence. We cannot continue being a society that puts our wants, our taste pleasure above somebody's whole existence. We cannot continue exploiting innocent individuals because we get taste pleasure out of it. I don't even know how else to put it. It's so insane to me that some people just don't get this perspective. And it's so insane to me that none of these people who don't get this perspective, they always have a big mouth, they come into chats, they always are like, oh, well, I'll tell you or something, but none of them actually want to have a decent conversation with me. None of you want to debate me, conversate me, whatever it is that you want to do. Have a conversation with me. Contact me on Instagram. Have a live conversation with me. Of course, the reason why I don't want to do it in a chat room is because all of it gets lost. I ask you one question, then there's 30 other lines. I cannot possibly have a conversation with that. I'm not trying to have a conversation with a robot. I'm trying to have a conversation with a person. So please contact me on Instagram. Okay? Please contact me. If you want to have conversations with me, contact me. I'm going to have verbal conversations with you, and I have no problem speaking to you. I have no problem speaking to you if you want to speak to me. I have no problem debating you if you want to debate me. I just really want to understand how it is that some people can morally justify extreme violence, extreme exploitation towards the most defenseless and innocent creatures. How is it that you can morally justify bringing somebody to life just to kill them? How? How is that ever moral in your old view? How about if you were in that position? You never chose to be born. Nobody brought you to life because you chose the situation you were born in. How about if you were born in a situation where somebody brings you to life only to kill you? Because they get 10 minutes of pleasure from killing from a product that after they killed you. Is that really what your values say that it's okay to do to somebody? Don't tell me that because they're animals it's somewhat different. It's not. We're all animals. We're all in the same boat. We're all the same in all the ways that matter. None of us should be exploited. None of us should be killed. Or we all deserve freedom and freedom from exploitation. If you're going to bring somebody to life, you better be prepared to give them freedom. Otherwise, do not bring them to life. Simple as that. Okay. Ro, that is beautifully said. Let me change the microphone to this other side. Okay, I can now interact with you guys because the microphone was on the other side, so it was difficult for me to interact. Oh, Aki Karim says you love meat. Do you love this, Aki? Neo, you want to debate me? My Instagram handle is, or talk to me. My Instagram handle is real chip guy. Contact me there. Yeah, like look at this guy. This guy who keeps up with the excuses, Cam Chan. God said so. God, I'm sure your God approves of this. I'm sure your God says, yes, do this to my creatures. I'm sure your God says, yes, please, put the throat to the knife of innocent animals. You can choose otherwise, yes, but do this. I love meat, but farming practices must be respectful. Grow some balls, man. There's no such thing as farming animals that it's respectful to farm an animal. There's no such thing as respectfully bringing somebody into existence to slaughter them. There's no such thing. You can think something, but you know there isn't. So be brave enough to admit it. Be brave enough to admit that what you're supporting is cruel and unjust. Do at least the first step. Do at least that. That's what we're here to do. I'm a female, haha. That's okay, BB. It's not about it's an expression. I don't necessarily mean it that way. I'm just saying be brave enough to admit that exploiting innocent animals, regardless if you believe it's done in a nice way or not, regardless if you think, well, they have a lot of space, because that's what we mean when we say treating animals nicely. We say, we gotta give them space. Oh, BB, you think it's not cruel. So you think it's not cruel to bring somebody into existence only to kill them as a child for something that you don't actually need. You think that is not cruel, huh? That's your definition of fairness. BB, is that your definition of fairness? To bring somebody into existence only for you to exploit them, and when you can no longer exploit them, you kill them? No, BB, we do not need meat. I'm a certified nutritionist. Look it up. Don't trust me. Please don't trust what I say. Go on Google. Go on ChatGPT. Go on whatever sources you want to go and learn that we do not need meat. In fact, animal agriculture pays large sums of money each year to do studies to try and show that we need meat. And every time they come out the opposite. So no. Oh, look at that. Somebody saying the world isn't fair. Well, you know what? It's not that the world isn't fair, it's that you guys make it unfair. It's not that the world isn't fair, it's that when you pay for unfairness, you make the world unfair. The world isn't fair because you pay for it. Aki says you love meat. Aki, I don't care what you love. If I love having sex, I shouldn't force myself onto people because I love doing it. I should respect other people, right? Just because you love the flesh of some innocent sentient being doesn't mean you should kill them and use them. Just saying, you shouldn't. And this is what I mean. This is what gets me really, well, at least today, maybe not always. But this is the thing that I find the most ridiculous out of everything, you know? You see an injustice, you see violence, you see all of this horribleness happening in the world, and then you turn a blind eye to the fact that you are actually part of the reason why that is happening. You turn a blind eye to the fact that you are literally supporting way worse practices, way worse violence, way worse exploitation to the most defenseless, the most innocent creatures who just want to feel love, who just want to live their life. That's it. They don't want to be exploited. They don't want to be slaughtered. So if you don't want them to, if you don't want to help them, if you don't want to give them a good life and no more exploitation, no more slaughter, none of this, then don't bring them into existence. Okay? If you bring somebody into existence, you have a moral responsibility to let them be free. You have a moral responsibility to not put them in a situation where you just exploit and slaughter them. I just don't know. Like, I'm baffled by the fact that so many people do not get this perspective, that so many people are so cognitively dissonant that you will look away when it comes to certain animals, and you will come up with the most dumb excuses like this. They will go extinct then. Like, that's the dumbest excuse ever. Oh, you know what? We're gonna be breathing into existence 80 billion animals, and we're gonna exploit and slaughter them because otherwise they go extinct. Please, please, please stop it with that. You know, I know, everybody in this chat knows. If you're not willing to be honest with yourself and admit that the reason why you consume animal products is because you've been taught to do so, is because you're too lazy to change, or because somehow it's like I don't even think it's taste for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are just too lazy to change. That's the big deal. A lot of people are just too lazy to actually think about the shittiness that they contribute to. So if you are one of those people, if you are just lazy and you're thinking that's a good enough reason to continue justifying violence, exploitation, and abuse, then stop. Yeah. And if you don't like me being direct and telling it how it is, I'm sorry, but that's what I'll do. That's what I want to do. I want to stop it with this nonsense. It's an addiction to them, says Peg. That's a very well way of putting it. It is an addiction to some. Yeah. All this nonsense. Somebody talking about abortions. Ugh. Jesus fucking Christ, man. You will dodge. Like, I'm here to speak about animals, and you will instinctively, because that's the thing, right? That's why people bring up abortion when they talk to vegans, because they want to show a gotcha. Because if for some reason my morals are not in line, that means that you logically think that there gives you a justification to exploit and slaughter innocent sentient beings. Because if I'm not being logically consistent, somehow you think that will make it okay for you to not be logically consistent. What kind of fucking logic is that anyway? Jesus. That is stupid. I'm sorry. That's not good logic right there. And I'll tell you right here, right now, my position on abortion, because I am being logically consistent. From the moment that a fetus is sentient, abortion is theoretically immoral. But practically, it is a medical procedure. So when a medical procedure is needed, you do need to take into consideration all the factors, right? A fetus does not have a subjective experience, not even when they're born. A fetus starts having a subjective experience a little bit later after they're born. So why would we disregard the experience, the subjective experience, the life of a being, of a human being even, for a clump of cells that may not even be sentient? Why? It's simple. Once they become sentient, that's a little bit of a different matter. But even in that situation, as I said, we should still take into consideration the person, the pregnant person. They matter more. They are sentient. They are having a subjective experience. Right? It should. It's pretty simple. But either way, in all situations, abortion should absolutely 100% never be illegal. Never, ever. You know why? Because the government should not have any choice in your body autonomy. It's simple. Your government should not have that choice. BB, you will never put the life of an animal over the life of a human. Well, BB, luckily you don't have to. Your choice is between the life of an animal or not. Your choice is between exploiting and slaughtering an innocent animal or not. That's the choice that you're making. You're not putting the life of a human when you're choosing to exploit and slaughter an innocent animal. No. Farming practices need to change, says BB. Well, BB, how can they ever change? Even if you do believe that, you're still being hypocritical. How can they ever change if you're paying for the same farming practices, huh? How can farming practices change when you pay them to do the same thing so that you get your product? How? Being yeah, there you go. So BB already, see? BB, you cannot answer. The minute, that's just the thing. Because that's what our brain does, huh? But you have to be at least intellectually honest with yourself, or cognitively aware that the minute that you're caught in this loop, the minute that you realize that it's fucked up, that you might be indeed in a contradiction and you're contradicting your own values and you need to change, then that's the minute you bring it back to the person who's bringing that up to you. You know why? Because it's so much easier to make a villain out of me. It's so much easier to say, well, I'm a hypocrite. I don't need to listen to a hypocrite. It's so much easier to say that instead of actually acknowledging that the argument doesn't really matter when who is it coming from, right? That's also an illogical fallacy, you know? When you judge the person, not the argument, it's called an ad hominem fallacy, okay? Either way, that's it, everybody. We're done. I've been preaching enough here. Enough preaching. And I appreciate everybody for being here. Do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. There's no empirical evidence of the existence of God. Therefore, I do not believe in God. And no, the Bible, the Quran, any of these are books that are not any empirical evidence of God. These are just books who have an interest in you believing what they say in that book. So no, I do not believe in God. If you want to choose to believe in God, I don't care. Believe in God. Just stop exploiting innocent animals. And don't use your religion as a justification to commit acts of violence, exploitation, abuse, or slaughter, okay? That's it. That's it. Just don't do that. Just don't use your religion. Don't use a compassionate God. Don't use a fair God to say, well, I want to slaughter and exploit innocent sentient beings because I'm too lazy to change my life. Because I'm too lazy to do something else. Nope, don't do that. Yeah, see, like BB does. Yeah, don't be like that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person who uses any sorts of reason. Like BB, you have come up with the most excuses as I've been talking to you right now. You used abortion. You used, what else did you even use? You used God. Do you have any other excuses, BB, that you want to continue being violent towards animals? Do you have any other reasons why you think cutting the throat of animals is okay? Huh? Do you? I don't think you're cool, BB. I think that if you choose to be vegan, you may change and you will be cool. But as you are right now, no, you are not cool. Not for me, at least. Maybe there are people who like, people who exploit others. Same excuses, different day. Thank you, Mandy. Exactly, the same thing. Same excuses, different day. Same things every day. We as animal rights activists, we hear the same thing from everybody, and everybody comes up with the same excuses and same thing. And if you're just tuning into this and you might be blindsided about what the hell is happening here, I'll tell you really quick and then I'll go because we're going to be ending this. I'm an animal rights activist. You know what I do? I protect animals. I try to speak up for animals. I try on behalf of animals to tell you what their perspective is. What is their perspective? Well, their perspective is that you are an individual who has power over them. Their perspective is that you have power over them and then you choose to exploit and slaughter them, take their life for something that you don't actually need. That is their perspective. That is what you are paying for. They are defenseless. They are innocent. They are very much so in absolutely all the ways that matter, like a 3-year-old child. When you exploit an innocent animal, it's like you're doing the same thing but to a 3-year-old child. Any other justification of you saying, well, those are humans, because they belong to the same category that I do, it means nothing. In all the ways that matter, we are the same, okay? So please stop exploiting animals. And you know what? If you don't believe me, look it up yourself. Watch the 3-minute video in the description. Watch all the resources that are online. Do a Google search. Do one Google search today. Why are vegans vegan? Talk to ChatGPT. Hey ChatGPT, this mean vegan online told me I'm not cool because I choose to exploit animals. Can you please tell me what do I do about it? I feel a little bit bad. Oh, this mean vegan told me that I can be vegan, but I don't believe that I can. That's out of my budget. It's difficult where I live. Look it up. Maybe you can. Yeah, BB, fight the large farming companies, BB. How can I, by BB, if you're gonna pay for it, huh? How can I fight the large companies if you keep paying the large companies? How? Incredible. Yeah, I have days like this, everybody, when when I'm fed up with the nonsense, and this is one of those days. I'm just fed up with the nonsense. Yeah, I'm just fed up with all of these No, I'm not a victim, BB. I'm not a victim at all, BB. I'm actually far from it. Far from it. You are not a victim. I am not a victim. You know who's a victim? The animals are a victim. They are the victims. I'm not. No, I'm not a victim. But either way, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And yeah, a little bit of a different type of stream. I'll be back next week. Tomorrow I have a 3-minute movie challenge with We the Free, so I won't be live. And I'll be back next week. I don't know exactly when because it's a pretty busy period. Hence why I'm a little bit like this, a little bit of less acceptance of nonsense. I forgot to thank you so much, man. Thank you, Mark J. Thank you, Chip. Amazing work that you do, says Mark J. Hey, Mark J. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody who donates and everybody who helps out and everybody who comes to these streams, who engages with them. And I really do appreciate, even if you're not vegan, I appreciate that if you come here, you're actually trying and interested in this course. I appreciate that. If you just come here to spout nonsense, no, I'm not really interested in that, and I'm sorry. I'm not interested in that. I'm just not there for that. But if you are here and are actually interested in seeing a different perspective, in thinking a little bit for yourself, in finding logical consistency within your moral value system, then you should come back here. You should come back here. You should seek the truth. You should try to find out whatever it is that makes you be consistent in your moral values. So, thank you everybody for being here. And yeah, go vegan. Let's stop this nonsense. Try Louisville vegan jerky if you can get it near you. Interesting. I might. Yeah, sadly for your cause, 98% of the population is carnivore. Yeah, it's pretty sad that a lot of population still disregard animals. I know. But that doesn't mean we won't continue fighting, does it? And maybe, seeing the passion and seeing what we do and seeing that somebody who's, I'm not a person who never thought of myself as a person who will speak up for animals, to be honest. I never thought I would be that person speaking up for animals, but it is the biggest injustice that we do, sadly. It is. It is the biggest injustice that we do. It is the most ridiculous thing that we as humans do, and it is also one of the easiest things to change for each individual. You think climate change is bad? It is. What can you do about it? Well, it's so complicated, isn't it? You can do this one thing. You can go plant-based even for the climate. You can go and protest. You can try to change so that your energy company does whatever regenerative energy. You think women's rights are not being respected. It's bad. What can you do about it, huh? You go, you protest, you do your best. But you know what the beautiful thing about being vegan is? You think it's unfair how we treat animals. You think that animals should be treated better. You think that the practices are bad. Well, let me tell you right here, right now, this is something you can do. This is something you can do easily, and that is go vegan. That's it. If you go vegan, you will do the bare minimum and no longer pay for this, no longer exploit them. So yeah, consider that. Consider that. Have an awesome day, everybody. I appreciate you. Erwin, I appreciate you too. And thank you for being here, okay? I will see you next.